towards the next stage and feel comfortable heading forward into IEM Kraków. But let's get the show on the road. We're kickstarting things on Mirage. It's the pick of NRG as they start on the T side.
Yeah, just a comment as well. It's kind of a rough day if you get dropped down into that lower bracket. This is the last qualifying game, so therefore they have 2 games to play today if you do end up losing this one, and you have to wait and wallow in a few hours of just seeing who you're going to be playing off against for that second game. So you want to avoid that. NRG bursting in towards B here, trying to put their best foot forwards. And so far, no kills. Huxi will chime in with the first. The Glock's now closing the gap. A small moment of quiet on that B bomb site has just been woken up by the Glocks now, taking the heads or the Julies through the smoke. Certainly a wild move. Stair gets crushed from all sides, and NRG pick up the pistol.
Yeah, fantastic way to start as well. OC, despite running low on ammo as well, continuing to keep that sort of front pillar position, just denied rotations coming through from market. Nice work. Quick, punchy, pacey round, and even despite what was a really decent flash there by Yabi to try and slow down the B here, they just go through it, right? They don't even care that they're full blind. They know that getting numbers out on towards the site is the priority there. So nice work. 2 kills for OC, 2 for Sonic as well. NRG start well and continuing to show just how good this Mirage is for them. It was very, very solid, of course, as we mentioned, against Bait, and it was picked in against them as well. And this time, they're changing things up. You don't get a buy out for Astralis, but we do get the one thing I really like to see. If you're going to go for a full eco, just bring a flash. You never know. You might be able to steal away a kill or 2, and you might not even need the flash as well. Yabi does it without even the blind. Fuzi and Stair also getting kills of their own. They're making this expensive here. Huxi, the last man, gets a reload off, and he'll go down in the end to Sonic, but you can take something out of that. You've made it way more expensive than you expected with literally $200 investment of a flash.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to be a good feeling. If they're able to come away with such damage, I think they will be very satisfied indeed. And kill bonuses, taking some decent guns away. You can see it has an effect on both buys ultimately. Fuzi moves in for the AWP here, where he may not have gone for that. Glass cannon, in fact. So, certainly going to be curious to see what he's got planned for that. Some mid-aggression coming in here from Astralis. Really not messing around. They will very quickly bail on it, however. Maybe just for the early utility. Trying to break open the smoke. Ryu will take some damage, but able to survive. Very quick moving game at the moment, it feels like.
Yeah, I actually like the way NRG are approaching this, especially in this round as well. It's just technically a bonus buy. Loose term on the bonus buy because of how expensive the previous round was. Obviously, they lost 3 people. They lost OC George and Nitro. So you do have to invest in a decent amount. But I do think this is generally the way that NRG should be trying to approach these rounds, at least in the kind of first 30 seconds. Early map control, put real pressure on towards Astralis, and especially because we don't really know what the synergy's like just yet on this side. They don't have loads of reps as a full 5 together. So maybe try and capitalize and see if there's gaps there.
No, it is true. Creep down middle here, just trying to contact in, looking for that elusive entry. Sonic. Oh, rough spray down for him. Will fall. Stair has a chance to reset, but doesn't find the kill. So immediate trade. It's always going to be solid for that T side. AWP on somewhat of an off angle. Able to find the first onto Bro. Easily spammable. They don't know it, but we do, of course. Man advantage CT side. 25 seconds left to try and get this bomb down. Break into the site. It's a great position here from Yabi as well. Easily overlooked. Flash comes in for him. And surely enough has been done now with hardly any time left on that bomb. They get all the kills for good measure. Very low in the end, some of them, but they will win the round.
Yeah, a lot of damage dealt in terms of towards the HP, but just not enough to see off the Astralis players. So in the end, it actually ends up being a pretty good round, right? Only the one casualty of Stair, and you'll absolutely take that. Good for the finances, and of course, now Fuzi can get some armor, which is always going to help too. Some util behind it. No longer the glass cannon, no longer super vulnerable, but even despite the glass cannon, he was still playing quite an aggressive position there, right? Sticking around Ticket, takes Bro on that first engagement. It doesn't really clear in towards CT. Nice work. And I actually like the way Astralis played that previous round too, because it was glass cannon for Fuzi. They played him in a bit more of a passive position. They actually had Ryu playing out through window for control. Fuzi, Stair, Yabi, all combined well against the pistols. Leave it down to Nitro and George. I'm not really expecting too much out of these two. A P250, and now just a Glock, a hope and a dream.
Ooh, he survives a bit longer than you would expect. Nothing coming. Astralis very quickly evening up this scoreline then. Moving a hell of a lot faster than I thought it would, to be honest with you. Now. They're really not afraid to take the fights. And a very early timeout from NRG, maybe to try and stop that. Just calm down a little. Get Daps on the mic and indeed just, you know, stay cool. I think they're a bit excited. They feel like maybe this is a game that they can win. They had a great opening series in the end. So just keep calm, keep it together as things pan out.
This does remind me of sort of the early stages of that NIP Passion UA game, right? On that overpass, it was very, very quick rounds. CT side getting super aggressive, which is exactly what you want to see. It's actually a really good indication of just how confident you're feeling, right? If you're more than willing to take the fight to that T side, always a good sign. Back into the buy, of course, for NRG after that low buy in the prior. Still have to bring out a couple of Galils. And they don't exactly have loads of util either, so the bank wasn't exactly super built up. No AWP to challenge Fuzi. They know that's going to be in play somewhere, and then obviously he's been doing good work in the last couple of rounds. And just the fact that there's a Galil. Already, Sonic falls as Yabi sticks around, looks for seconds. Bro starting to try and make a move out here in towards Tetris. He's got decent control, and George holding so he can jump on towards stairs. There's the flash. There's the find. Looks for a second, but he can't quite get it. Stair reacts and spams through the smoke to find him, and leaving it all on Nitro in a 1 versus 3.
Smoked off now as well, so awkward for him to get in. Finds the first. It's this second that I don't think he's quite going to be prepared for, and there it is, Hooksy. Around the corner, takes his head clean off. And we're already starting to see some of why this Astralis team is getting a bit more praise. I think a lot of the squad is freed up, right? We maybe overuse the word a little. It's a nice word, but holistic, you know, just across the board, a much better team rather than trying to funnel all their resources into 1 or 2 players, as I feel previous rosters have done. You know, Stair, you want him to be freed up. We know that he's got a lot of potential. Yabi, as you see, also has that. And it's tough. These old Astralis rosters, it's kind of like Danish kingmakers, you know? You don't really want to annoy a Device or a Magisk or a Cadian or whoever. But it feels Hooksy here is able to sort of move out of the way and enable some of these young guns. Bro with a nice shot to open up this site. Oh. There will be a find from the AWP. It's another one from Bro. Oh, Fozy. Hang on. With a collat. Hold on. This round's going a bit crazy. We're trying to crack where the kills are coming from. Between the Deagle and the AWP right now. Bro might have one more for us. He's going to have to back off. Of course, lost that bomb right in the middle of the site as well. Yeah, unfortunately, it's next to impossible, if played properly, for this round to be found here by Bro. But any more damage would be nice. There's no real point angling for a save, but he's got plenty of time to try and get in the back line, see if he can get another, maybe even pick up a gun as well. That'd be nice. Feels very, very unlikely, but it's the long road, the marathon round. He now starts to move his way through B's site. These rounds getting concluded quickly. We'll keep talking about it, but NRG are playing very, very fast there on the T side. They're not baiting out that much utility. They're not drawing that much attention. 20 seconds for Bro. He does want to die as well, unless he can scoop up a gun. Could be another here. Oh, no. Oh, you hate to see it. Happens to the best of us, and down he goes. That's always unfortunate. Yeah, he hits 2 incredibly difficult shots, and the easy one he misses. It is an age-old classic. But a nice shot. Hitboxes are different or whatever, right? You know, like...
You tell yourself that, mate. It's all right. You tell yourself that. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
It's always when they're turned around, though. Like, you know, we watch high-level Counter-Strike. We expect them to find those kills. It's always when they're turned around.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Whatever you say.
Mate, I can't hit a front Deagle headshot at the best of times. Yeah, I know my worth. I know where I'm at. I'm not fooling myself. Don't worry. Oh, man.
That is a lucky boy, but he gets the skill and he gets out. Very fortunate indeed. Should be dead to the molly here. Is. And actually going to get one of his own as well.
Again, another all over the place kind of round here. Trying to break out towards A. The spray downs don't quite land on both sides. The bomb, meanwhile, is bailing, so George is in the trenches, fighting them all off. Hand and foot right now. OC with a quick rotation. I actually quite like this with the information that they've got. Finds one at the back end of connector. That reveals him, but still, it could go anywhere. Could go B, could go A. What's the option? George has managed to make it from under dark to now ramp without maybe being seen. So they're really left guessing here on the Astralis side.
Yeah, and the real thing there, that round is won or lost by the fact that can George stay alive, right? If George goes down and OC's left alone, even if he gets that kill on the back lines, it's still what is ultimately a 1 versus 3. Now in this 2 versus 2, everybody's low. There is legs behind this, but there is a pretty quick flank stare. Oh, he's making progress. He actually might catch them just after they get that bomb down, if they can even get it down as well. They got to get past Hooksy first, and the more time they waste, the more he is able to get information here. This round's all but done. They're dead to rights. There's the first. The bomb looks like it might be planted, but OC's not even going to stick it. He's seen by Hooksy. He just didn't expect him to be sitting towards connector. So a nice recovery by Astralis. Not a bad effort by NRG, but I'm not surprised they're going to go for a second time out here. I honestly feel at the moment for NRG, they are playing this and just hoping that they can win out head-to-head duels, right? They're banking on the 50-50s, which against Bait works. They beat them by brute force, and it looks excellent when you can beat a team by brute force, even if the calling and the game plan's a little bit loose. When you start losing, though, it looks really quite poor, and this is the issue right now. Astralis are... It seems like fundamentally they've got a much better idea of how to approach this. The game plan looks a lot more locked in place. NRG are sort of winging it on a bit of a prayer and saying, right, let's win our head-to-heads, and if that doesn't go to plan, then they're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I do feel like there is a bit of an issue at the moment for NRG. Again, maybe playing a bit too loose. You kind of have it in the previous round. There's like overthinking and maybe not a voice that just says like, go B, just keep it simple. And they also are starved of information themselves. So they end up just running around in circles. So yeah, it's going to have to start improving soon. Astralis able to keep it together a bit better. Seem to just have that firepower down ever so slightly. NRG, like you say, leaning on it too much and maybe do not have the numbers to back their confidence. Stare. Oh, got to be careful here. Gotta be very careful indeed. There's a boost up in the window. They seem savvy that that's happening. Peek's coming in now, and surely that has to confirm that a man made it up, and they may well have missed the timing, so Nitro could be huge here. Yeah, waits for them to line up. Hands on an AK now. Looking for another fight. They've got information on this connector player. Taking it slow, and there it is. Bro on the Deagle again, delivering. Oh, man. NRG, a gift from God for Nitro.
Ryan's saying all 4 of Bro's kills have come from the Deagle as well. The hand cannon, doing as the namesake says, down to 2 as Hooksy and Fuzi got to do it all, and Hooksy will get 1 for free just as OC turns. I mean, a lot of this is what the IGL can get going here, because Fuzi is not only tagged, but with an orb to multi-kill is a big arse. I just heard that, and he'll drop him. And for Fuzi, I think he'll try and angle for a save now, but good luck. Nitro's holding for this possibility. Can he hit the shot? He can, and that'll give him a pathway to get out. He's going to be chased, and even still, getting out feels tough. Misses the shot, but is able to tuck his head in towards Market. That should be enough. He wants to peek Bro. He has to pull away. So Fuzi, small silver lining of the save, but NRG back to winning ways, and that's good. You call a pause, and you immediately respond to a round in kind. That's exactly what you want. The big thing is now, let's start finding a bit of consistency. Start putting consecutive rounds on the board.
Yes, and I mean, it's one of those. I don't mean to immediately be negative, but hard rounds to replicate, right? When are you going to get someone in a sneaky position like that again? So I'm waiting. I'm not getting super excited just yet. We'll see what NRG have got. We're back to that sort of more normal round with the rifles. Stacking up at the top end of middle here. A lot of utility down for that mid control, but actually not necessarily following up on it. They may be expecting Astralis to send forces their way. Meanwhile, info at ramp, not quite the control. They make a lot of noise over there. So NRG are gathering little bits and pieces to work with.
All right. bit of a slower round at the very least from NRG. We've been speaking about it where they've been taking a lot of early control, and it is giving opportunities for Astralis to fight. It's time they'll slow it down. This is a B split here. Managed to get their way up towards short. He's still going to come over, but can they clear the orb? First fight is fantastic. Bro on the swing. Fuzi caught, and now leaves HooXi in a tough spot. Good for the first. Can't quite get the second. Quickly traded. They've got the numbers advantage on the B side.
Yeah, far away, these A players as well, so I don't know if they necessarily want to go for it. Trying to see what Stair can find. The bomb taking its time to go down might make them think about this retake, but no. They are just going to save and back off. So NRG able to string those rounds together, able to take the advantage of the force buy and absolutely run with it. Looking good. Looking good. They got a B execute there, right? They got that in their back pocket. It's good to get that ticked off that you can maybe come back to it at a later date. So the gap is closing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's good work as well. I think that mid control was really nice taking. There's only 2 of you moving out, but with the util they had, they were able to get so much space. And Astralis, one of the few rounds where they haven't gone super aggro in terms of their mid control. We've seen it very commonly where they've been sending Yabi towards top boxes or having a bit of support from somebody like a Stair to swing out through connector. That was one of the rounds where they actually play a little bit more standoffish, and it cost them. If they'd gone for a bit more of that Astralis default of that pretty heavy mid presence, like 2 or 3 players fighting out in the first 20 seconds, I think they're in a good spot there to shut down a B split. A change up in pace for them ends up working perfectly into the hands of NRG. It made this a 1-round game again. 9 rounds played in what feels like a blink of an eye here in this first map. And I hope this is set in for the series. It'd be awesome if we can get this quick, relentless pace all the way throughout.
No, that is true, actually. I would definitely be here for that. Just to keep the action coming and keep things interesting for us over on the B stream, but it's also good to see that maybe the world of Counter-Strike is not just going to be down. We've got Paravision back towards the top, and although we love a bit of Jame in the community, it certainly does slow the Counter-Strike down ever so slightly. It's good to see that pace can still work, and it keeps up here. So much utility in mid from both teams if you just watch that mini-map. We've got OC here with an aggressive move as well, trying to find the first. I think the jump peak of HooXi spotted him there, so he does not go back in for any more. Not going to take any chances. Also alone on the B site, his short player in Yabi is on an adventure, so they have to be very careful with how they play this.
This is back to that mid-aggression, though, and I think Sonic's approaching this well. You know you don't really have a world to get properly in towards top mid. Wait and see whether they come to you is probably the play. Smoke out. Who's he's holding for that swing? Sonic could be in trouble here. He looks tempted. He's really got to hope the underplayers do a lot of the lifting. If they can get up and put pressure on towards Fuzi, this would be huge. 3 players here, though. This is going to be a difficult mid control to try and break down. Fuzi, OC around for the first. Another found as well. Fuzi could get a second round this corner, but it's Yabi who is there to nail it. And that's more like it, Astralis. The priority set really straight of getting that mid control, as they've done for the majority of these CT successful rounds. And they head back towards B. It's Bro and OC with it all to do. And that's a nice find by Bro.
OC set up here. They're not committing just yet. They're looking for another opportunity. And Yabi will give it. Interesting swing is a nice way to put it. He had support on the way as well. Nade doesn't quite finish off Ryu, but close enough. He's looking to close this gap, however, confident for the fight. Nade comes in to soften up Bro. The flash is good. The molly. Oh, the molly. Oh. The flash blinded him. Oh, man. He stands in the molly and melts. OC is left by his own hand all alone. He's got to clutch this up. He now has to recover himself. Finds Ryu. There's no kit available for Fuzi. Flash comes down just to slow the play right now. He does manage to pick up a kit. So the threat is back. The wall bang is close. Not quite on. It's even closer, but still not quite on. Tap onto the bomb. OC not giving it any chances. And he's just so quick with the scope.
Wow. OC continues to be a problem at this tournament for teams. I mean, NRG, they are really facilitating for him to play his best work. And late round there does excellently. The first final tools reviewed, that was a hard shot. But that second was so difficult in that 1v1. Time was ticking, pressure was on OC. Nerves of steel. NRG tied the game up 3 rounds in a row from them, make it a 5-all scoreline. We have really got a game on our hands here. I thought as well, when Astralis put up 5 rounds in a row, I was thinking this could be really the beginning of the end here, where Astralis are back to their real successful ways. NRG, I mean, if this map's anything to go by, already, you know, what a tournament they're having. Then traditionally, we kind of been known to not be super competitive internationally, but this is great. Bro, Sonic kills a piece. There should be another here as Nitro and OC then combine. And Hooksy scratching his head, thinking, what's he do from here? The 5-7 pulled out. It's a flawless one. A lot of damage dealt. Georgia and Bro are very lucky to stay alive, but it's flawless. All 5 stay alive.
It's coming together nicely. It is coming together very nicely indeed for NRG. I don't want to jump on any bandwagons just yet, but took a couple of timeouts. Took an individual moment. But they look very, very good here and really well put together. Which, again, you know, you kind of look across the team and it's like you've got someone like OC, someone like Bro that maybe interest you. The rest of the squad, it feels like, you know, this is maybe towards the end of where they might end up career-wise. Yeah, they're still bringing it to one of the legacy orgs. Bro will take a dink, and he is firmly trapped. He's the only one here, thank goodness, but we'll see. They're trying to respond over towards A. He's keeping attention, and he will find the frag onto Yabi despite the low HP. OC, for one, is there a trade available? There was no one really with him. It's maybe falling apart over here. Stair gets another. Only 2 remaining now for NRG, and indeed, that's a really nice setup, I have to say. We'll see how it pans out, but Astralis with a great idea there to facilitate this round. Maybe going to concede the bomb plant for now.
Yeah, I mean, look at Fuzi, right? This round should be all but done. They're taking a little bit too much time to get out. And I don't know if they're going to consider this as a contingency plan. In the flank comes, Nitro will fall, so will the C4. And Sonic called upon in a 1 versus 3. Oh my god, it's chaos. It really is chaos. Fuzi will close it. What a way to seal the half. 6 apiece. It's anybody's game here. And we'll see how it continues in the second.
It's F-Flex on the beat. It's F-Flex on the beat.
Welcome back into the second half. A pretty explosive display from both teams, you would argue, but NRG really bringing an A game. We were just talking about it a bit there in the break, and, you know, they're just absolutely flying into those fights. Didn't quite work initially. Couple of timeouts, tighten it up a little, and all of a sudden they were able to fight back. They bring things awfully close here now, and I think this second half really is going to be decisive. You know, Overpass also is a comfortable map for both, so you feel like that might be slightly up in the air. Very much looking forward to what Astralis have got in store.
Yeah, agreed. We were just talking about a bit in the break. NRG, very punchy T-side rounds. Astralis might be a little bit more slow and tactical, but they're bounding in towards B, and it started well. Ryu, Hooksy kills a piece as they create some space to get this C4 down. And unfortunately, OC from short, nothing really he can do about this. Not an easy retake. If they make matters worse, they don't even have a kit or any util.
Yeah, this is not a good look at all, but it can indeed swing on a dime with the USPs. Oh, if OC had given us one more, maybe we could have gotten hopeful for this, but not going to happen. Just down to Bro. There's not a lot of time left on that bomb as well, right? So they can just kind of play around that. And it should be all but over. Kill bonus maybe on the cards for him. There you go.
All right.
Survives a lot longer, despite 3 Glocks firing at him. But the round is going to go the way of Astralis. I think we felt that pretty early on into that round.
Yeah, he was at the positive there. Bro's had actually a really decent game so far. On that T side, he was so pivotal when it comes towards the kind of early engagements. He was 3-1 on opening duels. Really, really impressive. Flip side as well for Astralis. Stare on the CT side has taken so much control. He's 3-0 in opening duels. So keep an eye on those two. Two young Danes, of course. Bro previously part of this Astralis team, and would love a bit of revenge, I'm sure. They're going to take a lead, and Ryu is flying up short. With that Mach 10, he is going quick. Benton towards ladder aren't broken either, so if they do break it, the CT side to try and take short control, they're going to make noise about this, but they go towards B, and no one's there, and Hooksy is heard. Ladder get broken open, drops a molly. Simple stuff. Buy yourself some time for that C4 to go down, post-plant to be set up.
Yeah, they're figuring out what kind of cheese they want to go for here. Ultimately moving through underpass. I like it. I like it. They should be able to cut off a couple of players. The problem is Astralis maybe have read this and they're sending the majority of the team, which is not what you want, right? They're going to be able to overwhelm in theory. Oh. Weird standoff OC for 2. What is going on here? And suddenly the bomb damage as well becomes a bit of a worry. He will go down, but 3 kills. Pretty good. Pretty good, actually.
We always say it. Silver linings. You take that there. Absolutely. I mean, that is one of those where investment, for the most part, pretty minimal. You're not really expecting anything in that sort of a round. So to walk away with any sort of damage towards that Astralis economy, you're taking it. And now they not only have that, but in a similar vein, this happened to NRG in the first half, and it's actually where Astralis started rolling. They got 5 rounds in a row, coming off the back of essentially what is the equivalent of this round, right? They made it expensive on the low buy round. They then come in towards what is Astralis' bonus buy, but they have a much better firepower to fall back on. NRG can find this. This is going to really help them. You can look at that T-side economy and see how long-term it's not very strong. This be a prime spot. If they can make this round, even just making it expensive, it would go such a long way. Molly down. We'll tick on towards 2, but they're looking for a boost in towards window. Look at Sonic.
Trying to make a move. What is going on, man? How does Sonic get away with that?
And get out. Oh, no.
Fully?
Not anymore.
Have you jinxed it? They're on the way to try and back him up. Oh, don't make it 2. Okay, Sonic at least trades. OC was like, do not worry, I will protect you, and just falls flat, but it's all good. The trades are there. They win the round out. And a dominant kickoff in the rifles there for NRG.
Yeah, nice work. Exactly the same thing happened for Astralis in that first half, and that's where they streaked for 5 rounds. And the question now is, can NRG replicate it? If they can, it's going to put them in such a good spot. 1-round game as well now. That was a bonus buy, but a really heavily invested bonus buy, so there's not a lot of cash to go around. That's why you can see only just the 1 hero Galil for Fuzi. But I say hero, it is actually a full investment. They're resetting the economy here, Astralis. Sort of cut the bleeding off as early as they can. But lose this one will put you in a bit of trouble. Looking for a simple pop towards A.
Yeah, indeed. Keep it as simple as possible. This player in towards Dark is actually nullified pretty quickly. George can't really help. He's mollied off, and he's now isolated as well, right? So they need to keep some semblance of control. Their own smoke down that they're going to look to play around. It's an open plant from Hooksy, and it costs him his life. Slows their roll. Oh, man, the nade saves, bro. That's unbelievable. In comes the cavalry here. And they will get it done. Man, I thought he was surely a goner, but a little cheeky right-click jump throw saves his life.
Yeah, and he was just looking to break open the smoke. He wasn't even considering the fact that there'd be one up close. Bit of fortune. Very much favoring them there. We're at a tied game. We're not only a tied game with no funds to fall back on for the Danes. NRG should be taking back a lead here. What a barn burner of a map number one. I also thought as well these rounds would be a little more slow on the T side from Astralis, but they're fighting fire with fire when it comes towards the pace. NRG, we spoke about how punchy their T side rounds were. And Astralis are bringing a lot of that themselves. This round, not expecting a lot. It might be a bit of an existence timeout. Attack without taking attack. Maybe a finish towards B. Bomb on the back of Hooksy. But without even like one flash. I wouldn't even mind if they just brought one flash in towards this to try and sneak a bomb plant out, but it feels unlikely.
Nitro finds the first. Charge up short here. I believe that was... No, it's a CT smoke. Okay, I thought it was maybe their smoke. And it wasn't the best. But no, just easy going here to clean them up. Will be NRG taking the lead. This is where we start to pay attention as the CT side really going well for them. Astralis has yet to make a massive mark, right? They get that pistol. As we sometimes talk about, they can be difficult to rely on. We have a timeout now for Astralis as well, as I think they realize the game may be getting away from them. One rifle could do it, you know? The 11 rounds is what NRG have got their sights set on. Deny a bomb plant. Keep that econ in the bin. They really could put this into the scary zone with this next rifle round.
Yeah. Only one timeout apiece as well. NRG burned both of theirs pretty early. Daps was really trying to cut it off at the source. And it worked, in all fairness. That second timeout did net them the form to get back in towards that first half. So Charles are hoping for the same themselves. Open play for OC, which is the real danger man. Heading into round number 18. Unfortunately for Alexa Fuzi, he can't respond with one of his own. It's an AK for him, a Galil for Hooksy. So he prioritizes utility over the firepower. Super important round, Astralis. You fall flat here. You're going to be in a lot of trouble, and Sonic's got down. Stair. Yeah, he clears it. Sonic heard the steps, but he wanted to see how long he could wait. But he waited too long. And George will also fall. Stairs holding W, and he's doing well. Incredibly important for this side, but Nitro and OC kills a piece.
Hello, man. Nitro with a weird kind of move. Oh. OC does go down. They had to recover the bomb, which is what felt like the awkward part of that round ultimately. They had to go back and pick the bomb up. That was maybe where you could have thread the needle. NRG getting kind of caught up a little. One or two over faces that weren't necessarily needed, you know. Get the numbers back and just neutralize the round, as it were. Not the way they go, and Astralis' timeout pays dividends.
It's high square. Thankfully, there's residual cash for NRG, and it does allow them back in towards the AWP as well. They did great work coming through lower. Once again goes back for it, but this time he's met for HE as Sonic plays a little bit more of a passive approach. Learned his lesson from the mistakes of the previous round. Second nade. Won't go deep enough. The bomb's in towards top mid. No commit yet of where they want to finish.
Quieting down here with a minute 10 left on the clock. Ooh, big fight on the way. As he wants it. He's going to win it. Oh, the tag from OC lands, but it's not going to be enough. Could be a big kill. We'll see. Maybe they'll trade that player for all the damage that they've done. We're going to find out the moments to come. Sonic with a well-timed peek. Been super active around Con the past couple of rounds. Nearly 2 for him. Oh, God. Oh, God. What's going on here? Bro will win it out somehow. George trades things. It's still very doable for Astralis. They've got Yabby in the sight. That catches George unawares.
Oh.
Posey to take Bro with a timing. And Nitro finds himself alone. They have to recover the bomb. I think they might know that fact, but the old Capitan got a lot to do here, trying to get the drop on them. And you know what? He might just. His position's pretty good here. I don't know that they're necessarily expecting him from here. He's going to drop the bomb and win out both. Beautiful stuff from Nitro. They were really clueless as to where he was.
Yeah, they wanted CT control so they could plant for CT because every other angle was exposed. And with Nitro generally playing over towards that B side, they had a feeling that they could still just be there, holding down the fort in case they went for a bit of a change-up. Third and final timeout taken by Astralis. Pressure really on the Danes now. So you're right, Nitro does so well. Another round where he leads by example as NRG are that first side to tick over into double digits. And quite a big decision to be made here as well for Astralis in terms of the investment. Now, they can't full buy, but they could go for a relatively strong force investment if they wanted to. Regalil's coming out with armor alongside it, but I think that's inherently quite a big risk. Like most teams in a situation like this would probably want to half buy Fuzi, keep as much money as he can for an open towards the next round, and have this one as a little bit of a throwaway. It looks like that's the case. 3 Deagles picked up. NRG against the low buy, a chance to extend that buffer to 2 rounds, which is a nice bit of comfortability. You'd be 2 rounds ahead of Astralis, 2 rounds away as well from sealing your map pick to start off the series. Be no complaints about that. Molly down. Hang on. Hang on. Nitro spotted him. Be careful.
Yeah, not taking any chances there, by the way. Just immediately getting that smoke down. No cheeky jumps. Completely fair enough, right? They do not want to let a round like this slip through their fingers. Abby checking his angles, misses the timing on that one. Making his way around here, as I'm sure we'll see him slowly build up. There's a smoke in the way now, so he's not quite sure what to do from here. He's that annoying lurking player just trying to catch somebody on the side. He's going to have to wait. Meanwhile, the rest of the low buy creeps up middle here and actually getting away with a lot of space. Yabby full sends to maybe try and distract away from Connector, but it's not going to work. Sonic is here, of course. Just fully dedicated on this angle all half long, and they will clean it up.
Yeah, nice work. And there it is, that 2-round buffer as NRG hit 11. Full buy out for Astralis, and a bit of a last chance hurrah in a way. You lose this round, especially if you can't get a bomb plant too. Money's reset with NRG on map point. It is on Mirage, basically now or never for Astralis to rekindle the flame a little bit. Seats out of NRG, I gotta say, really have come alive in quite a nice way. They're streaking quite well. 5 out of the last 6 rounds have gone in their favor. And the North American side are really looking like a threat. Nitro hears all these steps, but he'll lose his head. Ryu holding W for 1. Bro's here holding down Mouse 1. That'll cost him his life as Sonic rotates over in a quick trade from Fuzi. Numbers favor Astralis. They've got the B site.
Might be able to do something with this. However, the gap closing quickly. The rotations are here. OC, big find. Just able to slow them down ever so slightly. And you look at the HP bars, right? What a difference these are going to make. And also the fact that they're very, very split right now. Slightly confused on the NRG side of things as to where this other player is at.
Yeah.
Luxie will slowly make his way over.
Because there's been a freeze by Astralis, they think there's a flank brewing, which is why they're so focused on it. It might be the best way to even let the bomb go down here.
Just to kind of confirm what they think they know. It's a fake out from Fozy. I think a bit too quick, didn't necessarily draw any attention. Now it'll be the full hold, but again, they are just letting that bomb go down. The round more important than getting too greedy. Fozy spamming away. Luxie in the apartments is going to be that linchpin player. Oh, Fozzy's creeping round, though. This could be big. Great positional play from him. They're fully contacting in to try and find a player. Are they going to catch him? They will, just about. It's all going to be on Hooksy. Where else could he be? Player with a kit on the bomb. OC
Brilliant.
peeks up to find him. An NRG full contact walk into the bomb site there. That's got to be nervous stuff. Heart rate's high, but they find it.
Yeah, OC and George have done excellently there. They've done their due diligence and making sure that there wasn't a flank brewing, and there was definitely a world it could, especially because of that freeze, but then they just played together. That is the perfect way to approach it. You know that you at least have an understanding that basically everybody should be vulnerable in some way, so just play for the trades and hope that the trades go favorably towards you, and they actually end up walking away quite nicely. 2-0 in the 2 versus 2. 12-9, map point NRG on their map pick, and another pretty stellar Mirage. We thought the bait one was pretty fantastic, and at a 13-2, of course it was, but it was more an indictment of how poor bait looked. This is a really solid one, and they can convert this, and Sonic and OC start well. Ryu will respond in kind for one of his own, and Sonic is reeling. He's very, very low. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. Yabi trying to make his way out towards A. Will he expect the second up on high? He doesn't, and from heaven, Yabi will fall, leaving it all on the shoulders of Ryu and Fuzi. The new boys on the block have got to bail Astralis out of a bad spot here in round number 22. With map life on the line, as Ryu makes a move in towards CT, he'll win his duel. Back into a 2 versus 3, but Sonic's 1 foot in the grave, so there's still legs behind this for Astralis, and they've got time.
Yeah, bomb not been located yet. Again, another lovely contact move here from NRG, but only sending 1 in the end. Ah, they split up. So Fozzy gets an isolated frag, and another. Oof, that is 9-12, nerve-wracking panic getting the better of you. Just overthinking, doubting yourself, perhaps. Mental angle here from Nitro. Surely has to find success, as he's not going to be expected. That's the bomb drop with only 30 seconds here, Neo.
Yeah.
What does he opt to do? Does he want to defend the bomb? Does he want to give it? Seems like he will give it. The only option is A. There's not enough time to get towards B, so I think he will be able to make pretty good time on this. Ryu seems aware. Maybe he heard a footstep as he's been kind of sprinting the whole way. We'll see. Yeah, he's prepared for ramp. Looking for this fight. Nitro over the top. Can't quite locate him. Where's he gone? And he's just missed him as he's crabbed up and managed to get up top into Palace and just finds the kill. 1 bullet the difference. That might be enough to start this overtime conversation.
Okay. Bailed out of that bad position. Astralis not dead just yet. That is close. And the new boys do so well. I mean, you have to look at that round and say the big glaring issue is just those sort of back-to-back solo fights on towards Fuzi. You can't give him head-to-heads. We know how solid he is. And he proves it. All digits for the Danes. Them not being dead just yet. Might be a lifeline now for them to recover. Trying to take this towards OT. And they're going to go quick towards A. Everyone's flashed here. Stair will tuck himself in towards Sandwich. Hard fight to win, but it's one in which he comes out on top. So solid Stair. May not run away in the numbers department, but the importance of the frags are insurmountable.
OC.
Spotted.
A pixel for him to work with there. Not enough. George holding it. Is he going to get the peak come his way? It seems not. Astralis are just really not moving a muscle here. Not overswinging, not getting greedy at all. Waiting for the fight to come their way. George, clean for the first. Needs maybe 1 more of those. He's not going to get it. And OC can't really join him on this HP. Instead, waiting for someone to walk into his crosshair. It never happens. And it will be a 1-round shootout here.
Yeah, a lot of things had to go right there for NRG to be able to win that round from a 2 versus 3. And it's not to be. OC will save the AWP, and he should be given the luxury of it. Just going to tuck himself over towards bench. So yeah, he's okay. Nice work again at the end there. Fantastic from Stair. The 2 kills he gets in that round, super, super important. Like you mentioned, down to the wire. The full 24 required here. Map number 1 of the day. Just how we like it.
crazy stuff. Oh, man.
the buy
NRG
for
as well.
NRG.
Yeah, it's rough. Really, really weak. They've opted to go in for more utility, I think, as well.
I think that's the right call. If you're going to do something a bit gimmicky with MP9s, playing around the U2 is the way to do it. Hey, pop, though.
This is really scary. I mean, the MP9's up close. They've got smoke of their own down. They're opting to blow through that. The kill comes in for Uxie nice and quick. Nitro good for one. Oh, difficult spray down for Sonic. He's forced out by the Molotov as well. It's man advantage, Astralis. Bomb site, Astralis. Plant coming in. Nade does some decent damage. It's going to need some heroics here. Osi's the man that we've looked towards in the past. Will he check this corner? Seems yes, but he misses the shot. What is this guy doing? Is probably what he's thinking right now. Stare with some wild movement there for some reason. Maybe falling off the bin. Osi finds himself alone against 3. They know exactly where he's at, and again, not going to squander this opportunity. They're hiding away, playing the post, and they will indeed take us to OT.
Not dead just yet. A sigh of relief for Astralis. And for NRG, that is an unfortunate way to let it slip through the cracks. And now at the great reset of overtime, you made the argument that momentum is in favor of Astralis. They found ways to break open this A site consistently now. This is a difficult predicament. NRG has the strap book run a little thin. Great calls by Huxley. Fundamentally quite simple, but they've worked wonderfully. He's really put a lot of reliance on the firepower in this team, and they've come up huge in, what, 3 rounds in a row. It's there. Going towards mid, but it's Huxley. We'll get the first with the support of the flash from Fuzi. Down goes Sonic, who's been super important for that mid control.
Nitro in an advanced position here in the B apps, gathering that information, and certainly something that we haven't seen all that often. Stairs being baited in here. Oh, that's awkward. George was so ready for him. Sonic spraying away. Nitro advanced position, like I say, it's just not been done at all in regulation. Nearly 3 there, but may well have done enough. They've got information on the remaining locations here. Do not swing this. Do not swing this. Do not give Fozy the chance. Meanwhile, got the AWP at the back end of the B site, so feeling good about this hold right now. Astralis also feeling that as they, just looking for a different kind of opportunity. It's not happening here. Uxie alone surely has to go down. Oof. Bang.
Okay, nice work. Nice response. It is still, this game really feels like it's on such a knife's edge. And Nitro doing well. And actually, when you look about the recovery from NRG in that round, that's pretty solid. Mid control was taken quite effectively when Sonic falls, and it actually looks like there's a decent amount of space for Astralis to work with there. Unable to make it stick. NRG bite back. It's the classic as well. You're looking for that all-elusive 13. You have 3 attempts at getting it in regulation. You can't. And the second you get to OT, when everything's reset, you lock it into place for a pretty solid one. All things considered, only the couple of casualties. Get 2 out of 3 here for NRG on the CT side. I think they'd be pretty happy.
Much quieter start into this round, it has to be said.
Feels more nervy, huh?
Yeah, Astralis holding their utility. Wow. Brilliant flash. Sonic's been really solid, man. Maybe not a player that you look towards to bring the top of the scoreboard. But this connector area as well, he's been in there a lot on the CT side. You figure you get figured out eventually, but not the case. Really, really great stuff from him. Bro to join. As it will be the 5-on-3. NRG flying colours at the moment so far in this overtime CT side.
George playing up close as well. Lots of will come through, and with a deep molly as well. They'll know that's thrown all the way from backside. They might potentially overlook George's angle. He sandwich for you. Will he clear it? No is the answer. What more can George get? A missed shot by the AWP. But time to reset. Nade that'll bound round to try and soften him up. And Uxie did get one before dropping, but it doesn't matter really with OT being so short on these fine margins. Back-to-back rounds is brilliant from NRG. And no surprises. Now we see Astralis call for a timeout. You get an extra one in towards OT, so you may as well make use of it. They've got to have something in this first half. They've got to at least get 13 to give themselves a fighting chance. If they lose all 3 on this CT side, considering that there was real pockets of brilliance from NRG on the T side, especially towards the late period of that first half, might be all set in stone. So Rugger realizing how much they need to make this next round tick over. But yeah, going back to a point you're bringing up earlier, you know, obviously, we generally, when we talk about NRG, we're looking at people like OC, of course, has been fantastic this tournament, but we know what the ceiling's like for him from just his previous 10 years within the Tier 1. But generally speaking, Bro is who we look towards on NRG. Since moving over to North America, he has been fantastic, right? A seriously good player, especially domestically over there. Sonic has always just been a stable factor, you know, a bit of a consistent force, but at the moment, 25 kills to his name, 18 deaths, over 100 ADR. Loving what I'm seeing from him, and again, like you're mentioning, kind of playing really high impact positions, and he's not faltering at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe putting the team in his backpack at times. OC trained, smoked off. He will break it, looking for an early fight, going to get it. Sonic mollied and forced out. Not a great fight for him. So he may well have lost control of the site here by the looks of it. Another break of the smoke, however. It will be avoided this time around. Bomb has yet to go down. Trying to get aggressive in towards the connector area. Try and find this all-important kill. Head spotted, but not finished. Oh. George spams away to deny the bomb plant. This gets strange. 3-on-3 with George in towards Con as well. Really not going to be nice as a player at CT in the form of the AWP. He drops the bomb once again. Looking for a bit more. Will miss the opportunity second time of asking, but this is a very doable round. Stare with a key fight won. Gives them space for a plant. OC swapped up onto the M4 here, looking to close the gap. Oh, nice! He can't be serious! What is that flick? Oh my goodness, OC, he's not even reacting. He's just so cool. Another day in the office and a flawless half coming in for NRG.
Are you kidding me? OC. Oh, what a round. Bails them out in the 1 versus 2. That first fight is absolutely superb on towards stairs. And then the reaction. But he's done so much heavy lifting in that one. That is an incredible transfer. Half a breath in between those 2 fights, but it's a flawless half for NRG. 3 for 3, and they need just one more to get 16 and see the map off. However, they had 3 map points in regulation. Let them slip. I'm not going to discount Astralis just yet. There's a real second wind about NRG in towards overtime. Went a little silent at the tail end of the regulation, sure, but this is unbelievably good.
What a beast, man. What a beast.
Yeah.
Still reeling from that, but yeah, so solid. NRG. Again, something that we might note from them as well, it did happen yesterday in some of the more one-sided halves or maps, you might say. Maybe just struggling to close games out a little when that pressure is on to do that.
Yeah.
And I think when they come into the overtime, it's sort of a fresh game. And it seems to really make a difference. See if they can get it done here. 3 rounds in which to close this one out.
Flashing towards ladder, good control here, but Sonic will fall short to stare. Playing up close towards short, looks for a second, might just get it, and he will. Low player of George around that corner, but he's the one who comes out on top. Can he get a second is the question. Who's holding? Bomb on his back. Still playing up from apartments, and he nearly loses his life to Hooksy, who's making a move around back pillar. But George, 3 kills with 12 points of HP is not a bad showing. And now OC can cross to get that plant down. 2 versus 3. Numbers favor NRG. And Nitro's holding the extremities for that late rotation. This is smart. They're both coming through market. George still staying alive for now, but he'll fall short finally. OC playing up close. Hang on. He's managed to slip in the back lines. He looks for the fight. This is a hard one, but he hits the quick scope. Bomb's still not down. Look at the time. He's got to win the fight. Where's Ryu? He stays in the smoke. They can't find him. And Ryu wins by the metrics of the clock. Astralis, the finest of margins, stay alive.
That's some nervousness getting in. I mean, it's certainly one. Might catch on the replay. Definitely a round worth going back on. OC gets off the bomb. Is that on purpose? Because he maybe heard like steps coming in, you know? I'm sure George might have called for it. He's going to be panicked because he's low, I guess. Did he maybe get off by accident? Does happen to the best of us at the best of times, or rather the worst of times. Very, very curious, because I think he was a good, you know, 2 seconds, 3 seconds into that plant. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Fozy to open up with 2. They're seemingly frustrated, just trying to force some fights here, and this is a complete crumble in the following round. Oh, man. Maybe, just maybe, the 3 versus 2 that should have been might be the undoing of NRG here. OC answers with 1, but it's not going to be enough. And now, second overtime is looming.
Man. NRG, we can't squander a 3-round advantage to close the map out twice. That would be really, really poor. All right. Daps. Last time out he called, it led to a decent streak of rounds when it was on the T side, so he's hoping that he can tap back into it again, but he doesn't even need a streak, he just needs 1. We're already at the finish line. It always can be. The hardest round is the one that closes the map, no matter how big the lead is. No open play for OC either. Just financially aren't strong enough for it. I mean, maybe actually if Nitro had sold the AK, maybe a better util, they actually potentially could have brought it out, but they're going to opt for the 5 rifles regardless. That can be damning because we know how good Fuzi is, especially judging by that previous round, especially when he's not given a challenge at range. Yeah, be going aggro. Runs through the Molotov. He's caught by a flash, but he's got the top mid control, so that's job done already. He has to stay there.
Oh, brilliant nade. Not sold on it, though. They're rotating away for whatever reason with this B noise coming in. They have indeed potentially over-rotated. OC manages to find a kill as well with his kind of lurking move. So this is getting very dangerous. Great flash once again. They really do seem to be the kings of connector. Down to just 2 for Astralis to stay alive. Not looking likely. They've got the kits. They've got the flank. Yabi has to go massive. He's going to have to leave this first player. And bro is halfway watching him. Oh, man. OC's fully trained on it. That was their only hope. And it does not happen. OC, of course, to close things out. And NRG, it's hard work. But they will take that first map.
Fantastic. All right, saying OC finishes the map on 31 kills. What a showing from him again. Mirage seems to be where he does so much of his best work. And, well, for Astralis, there was plenty of opportunities squandered there, but you have to give all praise to NRG. The way they've approached that, fantastic. Vegas, so they've actually got all right reps under their belt. So I'm not going to discount NRG off the gate, out the gates, kind of coming in towards this one, and especially with the red hot form we're seeing out from OC, Sonic, Bro, all looking incredibly good. I think there's a lot to like for NRG in this one. So Astralis, they've got to put their best foot forward. I mean, we're looking towards, obviously, Fuzi, who we bring up in the Orbit, but Stairs being the shining light at times. I think his impact is massive. Despite even, as well, negative KD, his round swing is very, very positive. So let's see. Sonic, he'll start well. Gets the first. For a second on, he'll get it before falling. Not a bad start for him. He continues the streak of kills that he's been finding. But they've barreled him towards the A site, and they've got a plant out here.
Yeah, pretty clean plant as well. They're able to play around Banana if they so choose. Flash is good. To regain some space, the shots are even better. Yabi all alone can't get anything done. It will be NRG to pick up where they left off.
Yeah, starting really, really well. Sure, Astralis get a bomb plant out, which can facilitate a buy coming through, but you're pretty happy with that, all things considered. It's a relatively inexpensive round. Yeah, for NRG, the big question for them is just you know, again, it continues to be sort of how high is the ceiling. I think coming in towards this tournament, a fair few people would have probably made the assumption they wouldn't make it out of stage one. I think I'd actually be in that camp as well, but there's been some great Counter-Strike from them. That game against Bait, there was a lot of good shining lights, and in that first map, sure, probably should have closed out in regulation, but a win's a win. You'll take that. It's a nice win as well on a map in which is just starting to come in towards their pool properly. First one on the board. So as expected, we do get the buy out for Astralis. Makes sense with the full buy. Flash over. Yabi can take short water control now as Bro has to fall off the boost. And then once again, looking like they want to head back towards the A site.
There's a jump spot. OC, ooh, just seeing the tip of a head there. Oh my goodness, the second one is dangerous. He's able to get the M4 up. He's just not expecting more presence. They were waiting for a B hit, weren't they? And unfortunately, OC has kind of mistimed himself. So retake here with man disadvantage. I don't know how I feel about this one. Nitro's got a kit. That's about all they really have to write home. There is a late player on B, so technically speaking, the numbers are not too bad in the moment. But the shoulders are out from the T side here, taking the heads-up fights and winning them. It's all going to be down to Nitro, and I think your save may well be impossible, sir. Knife out, easy kill for Yabi. Astralis with the force.
Yeah, nice response as well for Astralis. They go back to the exact same type of round, maybe a little bit more of a fake sold over towards the B site. A couple players were lurking around Monster, dropping the U, so that keeps attention drawn there, but a nice solid move. Bit of pace behind it, hit towards the A site, and second time's the charm. Tying this one back up. You look towards this first half with a lot of keen interest for Astralis. You've got to build up good foundations on your C side on a map which is inherently quite CT-sided. Of Overpass. We'll spy out. Interesting boost here as well. Of course, you can see over in towards mid. OC. Electric map number 1. He looks for more here. He might get a chance. All patience pay off for him. Fuzi is so close around that corner. I don't even know if he'll consider this as well. It's a possibility, but as a bit of a gimmick here, would he even consider checking? Oh, they're going to fall off.
Really being teased, man. Really being teased on that angle, unfortunately. Yeah, not going to happen. Sonic up close with the Deagle, however. Might be able to create something. Flash is perfect, and he will go down. That creates the first kill wonderfully for Astralis. Still not dedicating just yet. That bomb needs picking up, right? They're really, really building up this T side slowly.
Yeah, 45 seconds to make a decision. Just where they want to go. It looks like they're angling for a B here. Bomb's going back over towards Monster. 2, now a third, making their way down connector. Hooksy trying to keep as much attention drawn towards the A site as he can, especially with the U-Tour coming through. Dumps the smoke and a flash over in towards short, but at the same time, they're already moving their way through B here. George, big arse for him. Playing in towards water, got a 5-7 as well to try and stop the entourage making their way through, but the flash is superb. The first, the second, they all drop like dominoes here as Bros have it all to do. He gets his first. He gets a dink on towards there. But a nice dismantle of that B-side defense. And a back-to-back round for Astralis to take back the lead.
Looking good on the Astralis side of things. That follow-up especially is super, super clean. So, yeah, they're going to put themselves in a very good spot. But NRG will be kicking themselves. You know, it's kind of the worst spot for a CT side to be in. When you get broken like that in the second round force buy, you're just really screwed. Even this first rifle, the utility, the money is just going to be awful. Well, certainly not where you want it to be, I suppose. Stack out towards long. I don't think anyone's going to come this way to meet them, though.
Brothers are happy. He's so far in slowing things down as he's worked the last couple of rounds. And they're out towards B. No one's home. Empty site for them. Stair can bring over the bomb, and it's a bit of a gamble by NRG, and as the statement says, it doesn't always pay off. a coin flip of where to stack, and they've chosen wrong. So they move in towards the B side. Bomb will go down. Now a question to be made for NRG. Do you want to feed them in terms of the kill bonus? But also, can you maybe scoop up a gun? Can you try and make it a little bit expensive on the T side? Oh, 5 are here in towards connector. I'm not even going to go out the door. Oh, no. It's all right. Bro's opened it. That'll draw some eyes over there, but it's all for naught. It's not going to make a difference here. They're just playing for the exits. Will they get them? It's looking like no, in fact, actually, as Astralis can exit out the other way. They've just been avoided. Ring around the rosies here. Call this a unicorn round where no one goes down to a fight. Few will go down to the bomb. Nearly all of them go down to the bomb, but
I don't think I've ever seen that many. That's kind of like the Vitality clip, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Literally nobody around, though, which is pretty hilarious. Maybe one of the most boring rounds as a player you could ever play.
Yeah. Technically speaking, though, on the flip side, it's a perfect round by Astralis. You know, you've not even fired a bullet. Got a bomb plant on a round win. Tactical masterclass from Hooksy against the no-buy. But a buy back in for NRG. Rifles across the board. Bar Nitro, who wheels the MP9 as he opts for more util. There's a pretty aggressive long move here. Bro's in a good spot. They make noise here. He's going to hear this information.
Like
Step upstairs been heard, at least.
Spy is just dreadful for the side of NRG. Really lacking in the utility. A dink out onto stair might nullify things ever so slightly. Sonic is hunting quite actively for this first frag. Reposition from him as well, as he wanted to get the hell out of connector. Nice little response through short, but then that leaves a gap at B. I mean, this is a weird little game state to deal with. They're going to move back down the connector, and Ryu finds the kill despite the dink. So a lot of damage traded onto the Astralis players. Certainly not out of the woods just yet, but it's Yabi deep in at B that looks good. Bozy goes down for free. The MP9 chimes in. Could get a couple here as well. He plays his cards right. Very blind, but not quite blind enough. Yabi activates on B, but it's down to just 2 of them. They will be able to get this bomb down. The retake, however, looks very doable indeed. Going to come down to this fight. Nitro wins it just about. And it is the IGL of Astralis left to try and recover things. Tagged down by a nade. Can he find an opening kill? Yes, he can. Clean for the first with the headshots. He hears this second in towards short as well. The nade continues to soften him up, and he cannot replicate that success. Down he will go. NRG with the rifle buy.
Yeah, good work. Really good work. It was actually some nice sort of aggressive map control taken by NRG, because they're starting to poke on and prod on 2 different kind of fronts there, right? You know, you move up towards long, so you've got information of that split through mid, especially with the connector player who was taking, that being Sonic, who was kind of taking an aggressive stance in that sense. But you also, at the same time, you've wrapped in towards short water. You see nobody's there. You've kind of pincered this Astralis side into taking duels that they don't really want to, and they then had to reclaim short control as Yabi had made his way on towards B. Obviously, you're never going to really do it, but for Yabi, the best thing he could have done there is actually go back in towards short and clear it out to support his team coming through. But for him, priority was about taking the site, drawing the rotations through, saying, Monta's open, no one's here. Didn't even think about that being a possibility. Flash over, first find, Bro and OC trade positively in NRG's favor. Numbers go their way quite quickly, and it'll come down as well, which will deal damage to Yabi. And leaves him vulnerable. 1 tappable to the M4s now.
Quietens down in the mid-round. Not even yet, to be fair. So much action in the first 30 seconds. Is there anything for Astralis here to remain fresh? NRG's calculated aggression is really quite something. Re-smoke of Monster. A flash for some information there at Divider. So what do Astralis have in response? Trying to get some control of the bathrooms, but patiently waiting here. Molotov not going to do too much. It is, you know, burning through the wall there. Classic Counter-Strike moment. But either way, Sonic is not forced off of his angle, which, again, is pretty unorthodox. He will just straight lose his head to the heads-up fight, and Fozy knows his angles, of course. And Orpa himself able to drop OC easily. They eliminate the lurker at the very least, so the numbers remain even. Nice Molotov. Makes life awkward. Fozy with the advanced position punishes another. And it's all going to be down to George on that flank. 2 clean headshots will be required. Fozy with a hell of a round here, looking to close it out all by himself. Spotted, tagged, naded, but still standing. And surely as George, moves in here, he's not going to consider. He has to take a straight fight, and that will cost him his life.
Yeah, Fozy's had a fantastic round there. Not only just the entry part thing, but even in the late round there, he knows that attention's drawn on towards him. He just doesn't need to peek. You know, he's more than happy to get peppered and whittled down by the Utah. As long as he stays alive, all the action can be delivered there by Hooksy in the end. Fantastic work. Nice round from Astralis. And these T-side rounds look like they've got a little bit more oomph behind them compared to what we saw at times on Mirage. A lot more like it for this side. Back to low buy as well for NRG, unfortunately. A lot of things got to go right for them to make anything out of this round. It should be a simple one for Astralis to find their 5th. And similar to what we saw in Mirage in that first half, since the guns are coming to play, Astralis are streaking quite well. They got 5 in a row on Mirage, and well, they're hoping for more of the same here. It's looking likely.
They'd start dissipating. And a heavy rotation here from NRG. Just going to allow the game to unfold, but Astralis are taking it slowly. I think they're weary of what they might run into here. And just continuing this conditioning of, you know, slower rounds, generally speaking. That might mean that NRG try and pull out some aggression in future rounds. Astralis be ready for it. They're really weary here, though, to be fair. 35 seconds left. Smoke coming in kind of makes you think that A might be weaker defended, right? But unfortunately, they're not biting. They will indeed rotate down and hit that B bomb site, which at the moment is completely clear.
Been a bit of a consistent thing for Astralis. They're getting really good control towards the B site. I think they've realized that it's quite a gap there, so they're just going to continue putting the pressure on them until it stops. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess, is the mentality. George on the trade of Nitro. Recovered gun, which is good, but I don't really expect too much out of this. Again, it's about trying to make it expensive if they can. And George might just save the AK. You can leave the pistols around here. Anything they find would be nice. They're obviously going to have an investment towards the next round. Astralis looking very good. Very scary at the moment.
Oh,
there's another. You take that. Please, you'll get one back in blood, though. Nice work.
Yeah, pretty clean. 5-2. Astralis kind of just showing that slight extra level of theirs. I think this is maybe what we expected with the Overpass pick. Clearly, a map that they have been working on coming into this year. NRG, it's one of those where, you know, if you don't get it under the microscope, it maybe looks like it's a decent map, but some of the opponents and the fact that they don't necessarily play it all that often, I think it's just a map that they don't ban and they're happy to let into the veto. It does kind of paint a different picture, whereas Astralis, this maybe is the map that they're really trying to make a name for themselves on at the moment. Played it at Bounty, played it, of course, here at Krakow. So there's a difference. There's a difference in opponents. There's a difference in just kind of the overall work done on this map.
Yeah, agreed. Time out taken. A nice, comfortable, or relatively comfortable 3-round buffer. Already spoken about how this B site has looked a little vulnerable for NRG. This time they've got maybe 3 players in this direction. Opening the smoking towards connector, bro. Spots nothing behind it. Ryu doesn't opt to fight. Probably the smart call considering his HP. No real ideas here by Astralis. They're playing round number 8 considerably slower. They're drawing out a lot of CT utility, which is good.
Seems to be what they like doing at the moment, though, to be fair. Trying to stay away from NRG and the aggression. As NRG have made things quite substantially closer with those aggressive moves. Yabi, trying to find the head. Continues to be a nuisance with this B lurk. Not going to find success this time around. An aggressive stance from the A players, that's for damn sure. Smoke coming in. Going to make the AWP more difficult to get into play, but he is not scared. Flash comes over a second as well to follow up, but OC is still able. Second maybe a bit quick. He was still turning away from the first, it would seem. So man advantage comes in. They've pivoted towards B quite quickly here, though, and the B holders stepped back. Passive stance from them. George will come in just for the one, but may well be enough. 10 seconds to get the bomb down. They managed to get the plant in. Numbers are solid. There's no kit available for the CT side. The AWP in the mixture as well. I do worry as to how they plan to entry back into the B bomb site. Hooksy feels like he needs to take a fight and will lose his life. So it's Fozy and Yabi, the two guys that you maybe do indeed want in this clutch situation. Fozy trims one, repositions quickly. So they're both looking to play the bomb as the time ticks down. And as noted, that's going to be a problem. They managed to get their hands onto a kit. I was going to say, what is going on here, boys? Oh my goodness. Fozy is just able to work around. I was so perplexed as to why somebody's not on the bomb already. They were desperate for that kit. I feel like maybe just forced the defuse earlier than that anyway. That is a mess.
Yeah, important kill as well by fusing the post bomb, because when he kills Nitro, it drops the kit back into water. Brutal place for it to fall, and at that point, the round's all but done. It's Constellation kills at the end. It's that kill there. When Nitro drops, it's all but done. You could have got the kills, it wouldn't have made a difference. And a second timeout by Daps. We saw this, though, in the first map. Daps is happy to burn early timeouts to reclaim a stake. In this half, he knows the priority is about getting good foundations here, but 6 rounds T-side overpass. It's already, in most cases, considered kind of good enough. What Astralis are doing here. So NRG definitely on the back foot a little bit. Not looking as clean and comfortable as they were in towards Mirage. And I know it's very early doors still, but I'm smelling a map 3. Astralis, they're not making any of those critical errors that they made a more consistent base in towards that first map.
Yeah, that one feels like a really big round to be taken, though, right? You're over now this threshold of kind of losing out in the first half. You can be happy with 6 rounds for sure. Potential for more, of course, and just getting those clutch moments in your favor. NRG, their own worst enemies in a few places. Sonic is here in this corner. They're not expecting him. Nade will finish off his partner, and now he's left a pretty difficult spot. Flash came in to assist him. Unfortunately, he's not able to capitalize just yet, but he will get his hands onto an AK, so maybe something brewing.
He's made. Oh, Nitro. Dead to right hit. Oh my god, not dead to right. Nitro! Oh, you hate to see it. You really do. Yabi gifted life when he should be a corpse, as Nitro just squanders a freebie, and Yabi with a fadeaway. Step back like harder as he gets his. He'll get another as well. Yabi has had an incredible round of all kills that he should have died a long time ago with. Oh, NRG, looks like pressure's really started to build on those shoulders, and it's affecting them in terms of the mechanics.
Yeah, there are no words. Again, it's while the back is turned, man. I'm just saying. All right.
This is just serious cope for your own Prem games.
Yeah, well, I'm apparently not the only one. It goes all the way up and all the way down, missing players from behind. Yeah, crazy stuff. It's going to be a burst out here from Astralis. A change up. We'll see if it finds success. OC's managed to thread one in, catching a straggler there in towards the short pipe, looking for a bit more here. And he will indeed get it. Hangs around in the fire. Yabi Meanwhile, familiar with this B-bomb site, just about survives the nade. Goodness me, 14 HP on these remaining 2 Astralis players. And there goes the bomb. They know where Yabi is at. They must know that he's ever so slightly low. Nade coming in. Don't get too close to it. Yabi just holding to try and find a fight here. As soon as he reveals, Bro will take him down. So, Astralis with a change-up. Is it needed? Are they trying to get ahead of things? Regardless, the outcome, not the best. I don't think we'll see them doing that anytime soon.
You're right. Guaranteed lead already. A terrible spot to be in, that's for sure. I mean, NRG, even here in towards the penultimate round of the half, you lose this one, and Astralis could be putting up a 9-3 first half on T side. At that point, it feels like this map would already be all but done. Aggressive. George going to play up towards Monster and lose his life as Yabi continues to be such a menace getting out on towards B. Time and time again in this first half, Yabi has been clinical when heading out through Monster, and NRG just cannot find ways to shut him down. He's single-handedly giving Astralis a lot of rounds in this half.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even just by like having the presence over here, just always keeping NRG on edge. And in this round, forcing NRG into a save. So 8 rounds at the very least. I think you'd be very, very happy with that on the T side of Overpass. May argue these days the most CT-sided map. And indeed, they are able to put up some good numbers, maybe even one better as well. 9-3 is certainly possible.
As that there, flash didn't exactly come off, so hunt unsuccessful. But doesn't really matter. I mean, money isn't exactly super flushed out for Astralis, but who cares, right? Heading into the final round, you don't mind. Save successful, but I'm not even going to call it a silver lining for NRG. In a bit of a hole at the moment, a real rut of form heading in towards map number 2, and Astralis showing why this map has been so solid for them. 3 for 3, but some decent teams they've taken down along the way. FlyQuest, Fnatic, and Pain, all within the last 3 months or so. Obviously, while Bounty wasn't super successful, took down Fnatic on this map there, so take what they can. And of course, at this tournament, that win against Pain, really solid, 13-7, dismantled that side in their opening game. Flash, it's fantastic. Yabi again, a menace, and again gets 2. Yabi continues to put so much pressure on towards B, and it doesn't matter what NRG throw at him. The whole kitchen sink, and he's still coming out on top.
Unreal, absolutely unreal stuff. A great half from him. Great half from Fozy as well, to be fair. We've just seen the impact of Yabi in the past couple of rounds. So yeah, Astralis, I think, really starting the conversation of Inferno earlier than expected. OC takes out 1. Yabi, still good for it. Potential for another, as OC was on the other side of that smoke, hoping for a fight. Doesn't happen. And I think with him not finding any success, maybe the round is coming to a close. Sonic head on a swivel here, but too much so. It's only 2 HP that makes the difference. Unfortunately, he will fall. OC with it all to do on 4. He has to go for this. Full belt of util. Got a kit. They are a bit split on the Astralis side. They're just trying to locate where he is before they dedicate the bomb. Ooh, tag lands. 5-7 out. 5-7. We'll get it done. Okay. So we reset, but like I say, that bomb was waiting to get planted. He moves on towards A. They go B, and surely now they've set up nicely enough to close this out.
Yeah. OG's had some nice moments in this series, sure, but not so much in towards the third map, and a 1v3 feels like a big ask. He's so cautious about a graffiti player. Time ticking already. Doesn't really have time to work. I'm sure he has a kit, but he'll lose his head. 9-3 for Astralis. What a response off the back of a slow end to map number 1. And the way things are panning out, we'll be heading to map 3 soon. We'll see after the break.
promised me that we'd be okay. All of your lies I was believing. You were there most of the time, but that was never good enough for me. Had me going out of my mind, had me going round like crazy. But I gotta end this way. Why is there always a struggle for you to let me go? You got me like crazy. Like you were always right and I was always wrong. Crazy. Baby, where did our love go? Crazy. Like you were always right and I was always wrong. Crazy. Attention. Where did our love go? You would always break my fall. You were meant to be here forever. Remember when we used to have it all? We were so good together. Why can't we both feel the same way? Why do I need to explain? You were there most of the time, but that was never good enough for me. Had me going out of my mind, had me going round like crazy. But I gotta end this way. Why is there always a struggle for you to let me go? You got me like crazy. Like you were always right and I was always wrong. Crazy. Baby, where did our love go? Crazy. Like you were always right and I was always wrong. Crazy. Attention. Where did our love go? Crazy. I used to need your care and attention. Crazy. I used to need your care and attention. I used to need your care and attention.
Well, absolute demolition over in that first half. 9 rounds out from your T side. And honestly, not that many close moments, right? They do manage to get a few rounds on the NRG side of things, but ultimately not a good look for them. A few retakes that they maybe could have had. We might have been looking at a 7-5, but it'd still be a strong Astralis. So we'll see here moving into the second half what NRG have got in store. A map that they have reps on, that they have comfortability on, but not a favorite of theirs, I would say, right? They play it when they have to.
Agreed.
I think that certainly could make a difference here. 6 Julies or 3 Julies? How would you put it? Either way, a lot of guns.
Well,
lot of
I would
guns
say 3 because dualies means, you know, like
I suppose you
dual.
say 6 like Berettas.
Yeah, 6 Berettas, 3 dualies. Because dualies dual 2 quick maps. You know what I mean? Welcome to Neo, guys. You can always learn something new here in Counter-Strike. But let's be frank here. You lose a pistol, if you're NRG, that's it. We're already all attention focused on towards that map number 3 of Inferno. We've had pretty good luck when it comes towards the 3 mappers as well. Want to get as much Counter-Strike as we possibly can here on the B stream, and so far we've had quite a few OTs and 3 mappers and all the rest, so no complaints over here if that is the case, but also no complaints because Astralis are playing really good Counter-Strike. U-turn towards B, and they come hooks, you're going to be tested, but in comes one set of dualies. Little labored by Ryu, but to get the kill nonetheless.
Box closing the gap. This is where you do tend to get worried. Another set of dualies revealing themselves as a player all the way pushed through into the backlines, I believe. Fozy rolling round. What is going on? Stare from above, able to cancel the bomb plant, I think. Yabi's still alive here with the dualies. He will go down. It's all on to Stare to save this round and close the game out here and now. Crisp on the first. He's low on ammo. Brave for the peak, but George will deny. The first step on the road to recovery begins for NRG.
Yeah, arguing about him being able to potentially play time there because that C4 not gone down yet. But at the same time, if you stay, you don't want to lose track of him, right? If you lose him on towards the site, then he could be flanking you, he could be making a move towards A and all the rest, and you never really want that. We said, NRG, get the pistol. It'll start things off nicely. But still a long old road to recovery. No forced buy by Astralis. I think it's the right call as well. Just go back in towards the investments. They've been so clinical in the gun rounds. Just bank on them. You can kind of want a bit of a throwaway. And then I've got the one thing I like. You bring a flashbang into low buy round. Be something to work with. They're going to be I was going to say popped in towards Monster, but in fact, they're just going to keep hold of it. He's got to move as a unit here.
You have that flash, so if that's well placed, could result in something. Not really expecting too much out from this round, though, so it's a question of figuring NRG. I think you do want it to be smooth sailing from here. Nitro.
Oh, my God.
Check your angles a little. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Mac 10. Overwhelmed from either side. Surely he gets taken down eventually. There you go. He will fall. But that reveals a lot of info. They'll start the charge towards B now. A good spot. Yeah, okay. They're still displaying good due diligence, making sure to cover each and every angle. If it had been left open, lazy bomb plant, right? Hooksy might have been able to take another kill. Not going to be the case here. So looking good. Looking very good indeed. NRG. I don't know for me if it's the T sides that we've necessarily been impressed by. Generally more the CT end.
True.
So yeah. I'm not quite with them here on this T side of things. They play faster. They play aggressive. And that can be very hit or miss. But if they can keep the money down for Astralis, it could be possible. It could be possible. Already 9-5, right? Looks a lot better.
Yeah, you win this kind of bonus buy round as well, and the pressure's put immediately back onto the shoulders of Astralis. That'll be a 6th on the board, and most likely a 7th to follow it, just because of the lack of econ that'll follow for Astralis. So again, at that point, it's a 2-round game. It just shows how quickly these deficits can drop to nothing. You can find a bit of form, but again, you still got to convert a bonus where you've got more Galils than AKs. One of which being Sonic is making a move through short.
Nothing really coming here for Astralis, so it's going for the setup base at the moment. Early utility out. NRG slowly rolling through the motions. Well-placed molly or smoke. Really, really could work out here. I don't know about the straight face, if that's what they opt to go for. One playing anti-flash. Fozy will turn. He finds his. It's stare behind that looks decent. Oh, keeps them coming as well. Lovely little setup. Why not get it out when you've got the rounds, when you've got the time to play with? Hooksy as well at the back, supporting, looking good. And NRG, their dreams come crashing down. Nitro going to attempt to save them. Maybe get a bomb plant so they can at least buy into the next round. But surely this is just not going to happen. Flanked out and dropped in the end. Easy stuff.
Nice work. Just making sure as well that you don't allow that streak to continue for NRG. Don't give them the leeway. And hence why you go for that low buy in the previous round. Get the guns out as early as possible and just take the fight right back to NRG. But again, you know, the slight positive that is kind of a bonus buy, but it doesn't mean that the buy is super fruitful here in towards this round. You got 2 AKs, 1 Galil, P250, and everyone's new favorite gun, the MP7. See what Sonic can do with it. Already saw how good the likes of like Big Zero was with it yesterday, that MP7. So gonna try and find that. Yeah, if he just taken a little bit of a preemptive tap there, Ryu, he probably gets netted a freebie. Either way, full blind. Ryu gonna get 3. Are you kidding me? Didn't even see a single one of those bodies drops, but he collects the dog tags of 3. And bro will bite back for 1, but this round might be already done.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it felt like, yeah, he'd maybe lost the window, but the spot is just too strong. Astralis shutting NRG down at every corner so far. We've only had a couple of rifles, but they've just read them perfectly and deleted them. So perhaps done their work coming into this map, knowing the types of rounds that NRG like to employ. Or maybe they are just that good at the moment. See here, Fozy got to be careful. Could get caught. Could get spotted. If there was an AWP in the hands of OC, I would certainly have worried for him there, but there wasn't. They pick up the pace. It's just not working. Every which way they look, the CTs are able to defend. Even the spam through the smoke is going better for Fozy than it is for Bro. Tagged up a little by his own teammate, but yes, it's looking like this one is over. 15 seconds to save this AK if he can. Light hunt on the way in the form of Ryu, but I think he should just about get away with this.
Yeah, I don't think Ryu's going to be too aggressive with it either. Doesn't need to be honest. For him, but the AK is a bit more of a prize than that potential of another notch on the board. But this round all but sealed in that first engagement by Ryu. NRG looking very muted in and out of the server. And smiles around for Astralis. Rug is happy with what he sees, and I don't blame him. We're at such a lead now. Just feel like it's surely all but done. 11-5, a hero AK for what was saved by Bro. That's as good as it gets. He needs to go nuclear here in round number 17 for NRG to even have a look in towards round number 17.
Yeah. Yabby to find the first. Flashed over to grab some info. There is some dangerous presence over there, of course, with the AK in play. They're going to look to boost it. That's kind of what this round is hinging upon. Fozy's got the right idea, but they fell off. So it doesn't matter. Going to try it again. Surely it's been heard by now. No? Not trying it again? Did he fall off again? I don't know. I'm very worried.
Up because
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I'm really... It's unlucky, man. It's unlucky. And, you know, the egg all over their face. We caught it on camera. Oh. Okay. Straight up fight from Bro works, however. They're looking to battle into this A bomb site if they can.
Got a gun. Scooped up an M4 for Nitro. Fozy! Head on a swivel, gets his second. Oh, he looked like he was in a bit of trouble there with the support. They shut down A site. Under lock and key is Astralis find map point, and they do it with Outbreak and a sweat once again. NRG have offered up next to nothing here on Overpass, and we kind of felt this would be the case at the halfway point, but all eyes were set on that map 3 of Inferno, and it looks like it's only a matter of moments before we get there. Stunning though, really. Just not even getting close to scratching the surface, NRG. Astralis' defense is too good. And I want to shout him out again because we spoke about it a lot on the T side, but Yabby, B side, whether it's just the T or the CT side, is just such a demon to deal with. They cannot find ways to make him uncomfortable. He looks so confident.
Sonic with a find. Nitro with a find. Both through the smokes, just spamming away. There might be some life in the old dog yet.
Okay.
That's quick from Fozy, man. He's so crisp.
All blind as well.
Yeah, love to see it, but that's the danger of the instant peek after the flash, I guess. Stare on the back end of the site here. Looking for him to have a moment, try and join his teammates with the highlight reels. Quick move from Sonic. Can't quite net the AWPer. Gonna have to play this to perfection. Flash comes in for him, and he will manage to win out the fight. It's there, though, and they line up for him. Oh, I called him out, and he will deliver. Wow. Yes, sir. What a finish. The only one that had not quite given us that impact. The same as the rest of his teammates, and he says, all right, hold my beer. Watch this. Beautiful hold from him to close out the game, and what a showing there from Astralis.
Yeah, an electric performance from them. Really, really solid work coming through. And what a response as well after such a close map number 1 where...
For Astralis, it's high reps for NRG. But again, the caliber of opponent, the caliber of preparation, we are going to find out. A map that NRG have already won, albeit very close once again, at this very tournament. So that's what we've got to lean on here for them. It does seem Astralis are your favorites.
Yeah, and I would probably make the argument that that is correct, right? I just feel like, at least come on the back of such a dominant overpass, there's a little bit more on the locker. And there's obviously very clear arguments to be made that they maybe should have actually even taken Mirage. And especially if they are to lose this series, that's the thing that's going to keep them up at night thinking, oh man, we really should have done better there. And we gave it up to NRG. And, you know, credit to you, NRG, of course, did fantastic in towards OT. We very much could have been settled at a 2-0. So we head in towards the great decider in the upper bracket. Let's see. We're going quick towards B.
Yeah, straight execute coming in. Delayed on the Molotov, in all fairness. Maybe buys some time, but those A players have not moved. There's 3 to get through here. One of them is Bro, and he's deleted 2. OC chiming in as well. The molly didn't quite spread to him. He capitalizes. It's all going to be down to Fozy, and he is demolished. Great round coming in from Bro. Tap on the shoulder from the big man, of course, but a great pistol to kick things off for NRG.
Also, I gotta say, a great call, right? You know, they've gone for a bit more of a heavy B presence. You see a lot of defaults, and generally speaking in the gun rounds, but a lot of defaults lean 1 towards B, and you play 4 in through mid in the early round. You move as a bit of a unit. They've obviously read into what Astralis like to throw on their T sides. It's really decent prep that's come through, and they know that they have a bit of a fondness towards the B side on the pistols. And they had the numbers there ready to fight. Well done. Easy shots hit as well. Bro, of course, we spoke about him at the start of the series. Is a guy who, you know, the numbers in terms of the KD might not sing that much of a story, but the round swing, the rating and stuff for him is massive, right? It does a lot of impact with maybe not a lot of moments, and that's another one of them. Read to his name, he'll have a M4 and towards this one alongside Sonic and OC. MP9 and FAMAS to round it out, but they're not against the buy on the flip side for Astralis, so it should be a simple one to dispatch of. For Astralis, in a round like this, with minimal investment, they've gone, of course, for that no-buy. If you can get a bomb plant out of this round, you'd be pretty damn happy with it. Anything else feels unbelievably unlikely.
Bro trained in here, looking for the first. Sonic playing anti with the odd check, just to help his boy. An awful lot panning out at the moment as Astralis just running that clock down. Looking to indeed overwhelm the B defense. By the looks of it, Bro finds the first and the setup is clean. Baited into Sonic. Really good stuff. Molly down just to get those reloads off. But this should be flawless by all accounts. Some damage traded back, but that doesn't really matter. No kills. NRG setting themselves up nicely. If they can pull off this third, they'd really have a nice buffer.
Yeah, back-to-back 3Ks as well for Bro. You take that every day of the week. 2-0 start. This is the round that really matters, though, for Astralis. That one was a throwaway. We don't read too heavily into it. Again, get a bomb plant out of a round like that, or a kill, a couple of kills. You can take some sort of happiness, but this is the one that really matters. In towards the investment. But I say in towards the investment, it still requires a double Galil to come through. A smoke thrown from spawn. The molly behind it, but Astralis will still take banana control.
Oh, nearly the perfect nade. Stairs just about able to get away from it. They will take some decent damage, but really could have been devastating if they were set up. Still sending the peek in off the back of the flash. The molly and the smoke is a little better there to force them away. So Astralis moving quickly for banana control. NRG doing a really good job of keeping control from the site, which is often an underrated skill, I think, of the B players on Inferno.
It's actually fantastic util usage from Bro and Sonic there. Just denying them really getting any sort of clean top banana control. Because obviously if you have top banana there, you have so much of the map to maneuver around. You don't even need to commit to a B hit, but they've kind of been forcing them to go check elsewhere, and especially as this clock's ticking down. I mean, we're at 45-second mark now. And they don't really have a good insight into anywhere, but that's a lovely boost. Fuzi will find OC for free, but do they clear Cubby? They might overlook this. They're going to overlook it. Oh, no. Trigger discipline, George. There should be 2 dead to right, and there is.
Lovely finds. He's got, yeah, the opportunity for a bit more. He's a FAMAS abuser, this guy. Goodness me. Big round in from George to make himself known in this game. And it will be enough. Sonic to clean up the final 2. NRG rolling forwards into 3. A completely fresh-looking team here as they come into Inferno. We did talk about the chatter in between maps. Gonna have to be effective, and it is.
Yeah, it's a really good reset. Really, really nicely done. And there's a lot that you can sort of take from that round and talk about in a positive note. You know, first and foremost, we already brought it up, but that B util and the shutdown towards top banana control is so critical from NRG just to keep pressure on towards the Astralis, but also pinces them away from the map. It kind of forces them to look elsewhere, but with that little on the clock, it's going to make life difficult. And speaking of the util usage, there it is once again. The double nades are beautiful, but bro is so blind. Couldn't do a lot with that. Running through with the Tech 9. Sonic's under pressure here, and he will fall. So will George. B-sites open, especially as they get that CT cross smoke.
That's wild. How are they getting away with this? Deagle spotted. Not gonna find the kill. Awkward back and forth over there. But it has slowed this roll, of course, of NRG trying to mount the retake. Gabby is not with them at all, so this could get kind of weird. He's really far away. I don't know about this, man. We'll see. If they get in quick, which they could do against some of the HP bars. Spoke too soon. Fozy while blind. Takes out OC. It's all going to be on Nitro here. He's just trying to run that clock down. Maybe even going to think about a save, and that's where Yabi comes back into the conversation. But Nitro kind of knows about him. Looking to take a couple on his way out. He'll do just that. And now a big fight, I suppose, as Yabi looking to drop all the rifles possible, and he will be rewarded. Round goes the way of Astralis. Pretty unlikely as well.
Yeah, he single-handedly could have cost them that round by just being too far away, but they do well bunkering down on that B site, even despite being blind as well. It's just a preemptive shot. Fortunate for Nitro as well. If he had just had one more player with him, if it was like a 3v3, I think they would have been fine because they would have been grouped together. Astralis do well in that round. And it keeps them afloat, but NRG can reinvest for the most part. He's got an ult, which is great. 2 M4s alongside it. MP9 and a 5-7 round out the buys here in round number 5. But probably a decent amount of heavy lifting got to be done. OC, bro, George, who have got the premium guns.
OC trained in and ready for that first fight. They're maybe looking to break this smoke, actually. It's going to go down, so just taking the peek, trying to cover his teammate getting in close. They really are weary of the swings here. Not weary enough. Hooksy will go down. And that's the first kill that they were looking for. You see OC finds that kill. He immediately starts to think about bailing and trying to assist on the A bomb site. Gonna take a little while getting over here. Nice nade to soften them up. I really like this. They're ready for Fozy. Looking good for NRG, in fact. Molly is good to slow them down even further. So a solid advantage and just locking them out of A right now.
Yeah, I know it's Inferno in a nutshell, but the util usage so far on the CT side has actually been excellent. Should be one for free here. Let's see. Oh, it jumped across. Second has as well. OC's dead to right. Surely. How's he got out? How's he got a kill? OC's surely not a second. Oh my god, he just about gets traded. But even still, 2 versus 4, 30 seconds. And Shaw bombs on the back as it heads to A. You making a move. He'll get another. They're going to angle back towards a B site here. I think they might. But Ryu's got to go. Look at the time.
This is not going to happen, I don't think. 10 seconds. Even just a slow down. Not
Can
enough.
they plant?
Not enough. Nah. I'm going with no.
No.
Oh.
It's about 3.5 seconds, though.
I nearly lose that.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, he had a quarter of a second more. He actually could have planted. I mean, granted, he would have died as a banana guy anyway, but most with no cigar. It's survive by the skin of their teeth type stuff for NRG. But they continue their role, continue their winning ways. OC2, big kills from, of course, the first, but just baffled he even gets the second there. He shouldn't have been given that luxury. He should have been punished on the exit. Out from that rotate through towards B. Astralis will take their first pause as Rugger re-enters the fray. Buy's not going to be super bountiful for Astralis, but it looks like, judging by what we see already invested in, it's going to be a force. Ryu's got an AK, Khalil for Fuzi. Was brought from that round prior, and we just see a few upgrades around it. They're trying to reset that economy, basically, get it back to an even standpoint. But the NRG, you win this one, that'll be a 5th, and then the 6th is sort of a gimme, judging by the low investment. bad spot. Not a bad spot. An important timeout. I think a little dropped over, but really looking towards Stair to prop them up in round number 6.
Yes, absolutely true. I mean, NRG just flying at the moment on Inferno. Completely forgetting about that second map, which is good. It's what they need.
Yeah.
A lot of utility here at the top end of Banana. Interesting smoke there to just sort of cover off the vision. They're going to go bursting through it. Yeah, lovely little idea. We'll see whether it pans out for them. Sonic for 2. One more was on the cards. He's so close to getting it. 3 HP is all the difference. Maybe done enough. Bomb goes down on an open plant. So a pretty sort of figured out round for Astralis. NRG not really feeling it, but maybe considering things. Don't have loads of cash themselves. They're just trying to have a look for this first kill if they can get it. But, like, Nitro is...
They're saving.
So far away.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. It's like an active save. George is here. Reveals himself with that flash. Maybe trapping them in, trying to take some guns away. He's going to do that on 1. All right. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. They will go down. Nitro saving. The rest of the team not, apparently. They all go down to the bomb. What? I don't know what the decision making is there, but either way, Astralis get the round.
Yeah, one of the rounds of all time, that's for sure.
I don't know. I don't know what to add.
Yeah, just I think it felt like cluttered comms, or maybe it was also energy. I think there's 2 things. First of all, was they hadn't seen Yabi, and we already saw what Yabi can do on the lurk, so hence why OC and Nitro are so slow on the rotators. They were like waiting out every single smoke to dissipate just to see if he'd lurked and was trying to set up a flank of his own. He actually wasn't. He was going to join them over towards Banana. But it's a really good round of response from Astralis with not loads to work with either. It's costly. Nice nade that'll deal damage towards Hooksy as Stair takes a little tag himself. It's a one-man defense here of Sonic. He's got to do a lot of work with just a 5-7. It's a big ask for him. Stuck behind a smoke for now. They'll break it open and they barrel in. There's no one really here to stop them. Sonic, does he even try and wait for rotations, or are they already going to angle for a save? Unless he can get a couple of kills for a smoke.
Yeah, very valid question. Ooh, Eagle close. Eagle very close, in fact, but yeah, not quite going to happen. The save angle certainly now coming in, as I think they will look to back away. There's a man in T-spawn. Yabi loves a lurk. This might really be giving it a new definition, as he's not made it out of the spawn, it would seem. They're onto him. They do seem a bit onto him, but they're never going to expect the T-spawn angle. And there you go. He takes Nitro down. What is he doing over here? Another weird-looking end round, honestly. Like, they're all in Banana. There's 2 CTs watching for the exit, but then 2 just hard saving over on A. I don't know what to make of all this at the moment.
Yeah, it's like half the team has ideas about making it expensive, and the other half is thinking, I guess, to the next round more so. 1-round game, though. E9. Eagle and a couple of 5-7s. Should be a simple one for Astralis to tie it up, you'd assume. They are starting to build up a bit of finances behind them, Astralis, too. They don't really even care. As long as they win this round, they don't care how expensive it is. They're going to buy into the next pretty comfortably. Fuzi can get an AWP as well if he wants. Still deep down Banana is... Again, Sonic is quite aggressive here, and he's all alone. If he falls towards Banana, that is B-side open once again.
Yeah.
But I guess he's changing up, right? Because the previous round, Sonic, I would say, is arguably a little bit too passive. This round, he's trying to be aggressive. It's a pick your poison, but he's sticking around for the fight here. Molotov tick. Sonic knows his body's around the corner. He's under pressure here. He has to basically buy time for that rotation, and Bro's rotating over, but they're hunting down his position.
Looking to go towards B here. And it's going to be heavy rotations in from NRG, as you would expect in a round like this. Maybe a boost on the cards as well. We'll see what the CTs are able to find with some pretty solid reads, some pretty quick moves. trying, but failing to roll in. And I think they have a player up on the... I was going to say, they've taken their time in doing it. Unfortunately, the smoke is kind of good enough as it dissipates. They're ready for the fight. It's all on OC. To even just find one here, just soften some numbers, take some guns away, does not happen. The AK finds him through the smoke, and we are very quickly back to an even scoreline.
This looks much more akin to that Mirage, right? Where it is a bit of back and forth and changing of momentum. As they lose the lead, NRG call for a break in play. As Daps enters onto the mic. And the issue is, for the last sort of 3 rounds, basically, NRG have had really kind of wacky finances. Some people being able to buy, others down to sort of like a half investment if they want utility. And it looks like we're going to get another one of those rounds into round number 9, which is a bit tough. I mean, you're getting what seems to be a priority in firepower for NRG, but look at the sort of knock-on effect of that. Bro Nitro and George all have pretty limited utility, with Bro Nitro only having a smoke apiece, and they've only got 1 kit on Sonic, who's opted for an MP9. Positive news, I guess, is that it is a bonus buy technically for Astralis, so firepower-wise, you make the argument it's actually a bit better over towards NRG, but Astralis have the full belt of util. And they are starting to find these real pockets and these gaps in the NRG defense. And similar to the previous round, right? Astralis don't really care how costly this round is. As long as they win it, that's all that matters. I mean, with how much backbone they've got in the wallet.
Yeah, so much to mix up with here as well. They're going to go flying in. Over on the balcony, not expecting the second player over there, of course, and I think he really does cause some confusion. The setup of 4 on A was so very ready for a play like this. Bozy will go down, but ultimately NRG, there is no sweat off the brow. They were in the right place. They were ready for that. And it's kind of a classic thing. Astralis maybe seems a bit in their DNA, that once in a while they like to just throw a fast round in there for almost no reason, you might argue.
Yeah.
And sometimes, most of the time, actually, it doesn't really work for them. So lead back for NRG.
Yeah, nice work. Nice response. And not too expensive either, which is the main thing. But like we said on the flip side for Astralis, no issues with their reinvestment. To go a bit all about as well. Be a nice nade here on towards half wall. Yeah, it is. Oh, hit down to 75, but Stair will get one in response. And he gets another as well. You are so lucky to stay alive, Stair. Might not be for much longer, we'll see. But the triple stack B here, and Stair sticking around for the engagement despite his low HP. There's a steal.
They want that banana control.
Yeah.
Really putting a lot of resources into that. Kind of on both sides, to be fair. Stair will get the old Bogdan's Law going. As he will get that AWP. Not a lot of opportunities presenting. Kind of posturing on A at the moment. Are they going to commit over there? The bomb seems to be slowly making a move at B, but also just kind of supporting with utility. Now beginning to believe that they are looking for a B finish here. Perhaps not. Hard to read. Hard to know what they have. Only 2 smokes remaining here. Oh, and a rotation from George. Could be a deciding factor. More smoke coming in. They will act upon it. There's the nade that Stair was just praying did not come his way. It's a lot of damage done. May well soften it up. The rotation's coming in decent time. George here to just thin the numbers ever so slightly. The transfer on the cards, but doesn't happen. It's all going to be on Ryu. Look at the head. George to delete. And he was the player that we kept an eye on. Maybe for the wrong reasons. He takes over the round, regardless of the mistimed rotation.
Yeah, and do you know what? To be fair, George has been quite quiet this series. He's not been sort of as impactful as we've maybe come to know in the past, but that's better. Timeout taken. Another by Astralis as NRG guarantee worst case scenario heading in towards the second half. It will be a tied game. On a map like Inferno, which isn't too lent either side, you're pretty happy with that if you're NRG. And also just happy in general because you've been able to recover off the back of what was ultimately a poor map number 2. You've brushed it aside. You've kind of shown that it isn't something long-lasting. It's a good round as well. It's super aggressive too. I mean, even that swinging towards long, that double with George and Bro. Really aggro, and it's a nice shot for the final. Finance is feeble for the Danes. NRG should be getting a 7th here if all things go in plan as they should.
Early utility in Banana once again. We'll see if Astralis maybe step it up slightly and try and really fight for things here in a low-buy round like this. They're creeping forwards with that AK. Yeah, they're trying to get him moving quick. Molotov will come down, baiting out some early utility, but still not super comfortable for NRG. In comes a flash. Oh, Sonic is deleted before he ever gets a chance. Bro finds one. I think OC on the other side of the map, that is. Bro's still alive here at the new box. He'll eventually melt. Does well to find a couple. It's a valiant stand. Gives them an advantage thanks to OC's kill on the other side of the map, like I say. Nade to bring Fuzzy down to 3 HP. Feels and looks pretty damn good for NRG. The hero is going to be required here. They are to take this, Astralis. Slow moving from NRG, though. Hooksy, oh, it's an awkward molly. Softens him up even more. They've still got another Molotov remaining as well, so they can get that in. I'm sure they will. Yeah, there it goes. Forced out into the open. Easy as you like in the end. Little close on the defuse. Make sure the right player's on it with that kit, but ultimately they take the round.
Yeah, it's an excellent retake coming through there from NRG. Really nice usage, just to continue being a bit of a nuisance and forcing them out of position, and also just making sure the fights are super clean. Nice work. Again, it kind of reiterates this point of where NRG, at least on an international scope, are actually showing there's some really decent depth behind them. Coming in towards this tournament, a lot of people had reservations about actually can they really sort of hack it on the international stage. We know they've been doing good work domestically, but unfortunately, with the way the North American scene is kind of currently, we're not taking too much stock in that, but this is a lot better. Up shot by OC, missed. Information gain, sure, they're dropping all of U2 until Banana, and Ryu takes a lot of damage. Same for Hooksy, and Fuzi's not exactly super healthy himself. The flash is good, the spray labored, but Sonic walks away with one at least.
Just for now. An opportunity for a few more, as again, they have been softened up, something that NRG been doing really well. Astralis so far back. Yabi on the hard lurk, something that becomes, I think, harder and harder to do into CS2. Been doing a decent job on this map, the only one on the team that is positive. Bro, up close, demolished. Great shot from Stair to entry in. Going to be George from this new box angle, which has found a great deal of success for this NRG team, of course. Remember that OC clip? Bro had it in the last round, though. So we'll see what he's able to do. There's no Molotov to flush him out. So it really depends on how he plays this. Nitro waiting for contact, and they are just walking in. Maybe need that flash ahead of time. It comes in. Oh, it's so awkward for George. And he's blinded up by a secondary flash, I think maybe even from his teammate. So he couldn't finish that second kill. It's still absolutely on here now.
Keep an eye on OC's HE as well. The damage being dealt. The flash is excellent. The flash is excellent. Look at the time, too. 13 seconds. The C4 still needs to go down. All on the shoulders of OC. He's pulled off a clutch and a half at times. Molly will come down. It lands on Yabi, but he tucks himself in towards water. Opting for the rifle is the right call, but clearing view might get overlooked here. Attention will be drawn towards water, and Ryu sees it off at the half. It is back and forth. There's niceties from NRG, but can they continue in the second? exactly the kind of half we want into a decider. And it's still anybody's game. Frustrations, of course, coming through for Astralis, understandably so. And NRG showing that there's still fight left in this side, despite a very underwhelming map number 2. But heading in towards the second, now on the T side as well, we've already had our question marks, haven't we, Screw, about the T side of NRG not always being where I think they've done their best work. It generally has been the CT side. And they find something here.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. I definitely would agree with that analysis. So, yes, curious as to what the game plan is going to look like on the T side. They've generally been a bit thicker, a bit faster. Inferno is not really a map that hands itself to that style at the best of times. Pistol would be absolutely huge here for NRG, though. Same for Astralis, right? At this type of scoreline, I think it can be very, very decisive. Or indeed divisive if things don't go your way.
Device mentioned.
But there you go. Big up. Hopefully a good time for him over at 100 Thieves. I see they're playing at Draculan. Yeah, no, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see what Device can do over there. But for now, the ghost of Device, I suppose, trying to stay alive. It's been a pretty quiet Pistol as they're just lining up that utility. Taking a leaf out of the Astralis book. Straight up B execute.
Rotation coming through. Who's he going to come support? Need to go the one with the Util. Also a flank burning too. The bombs towards the back of the pack, which is potentially quite worrying. Uh-oh. There's Yabi. Makes his move. OC goes down. Nice trade from George. Needs to be careful here though, George. Like I said, he's the one with the bomb, but they're starting to make their way in towards B. There's still bodies here to meet them. And time is ticking. 25 seconds. We got to move. Down goes George. Down goes the C4. We still got a plant in this 2 versus 2.
Unbelievable. Fake plant coming in to try and draw them in. It might just work. Oh, Fozy nearly lines them both up. It's Nitro to bail out, but yeah, that's a complete mess. I mean, the flank comes in just as they decided to stop watching it, right? And get that utility out. So pretty unlucky on that. Then you got the bomb isolated. 2 players like swap positions. The planter has to move and somebody else comes in to cover him. Just an all over the place kind of right. And then Fozy creeping on the edge of the smoke, right? Could have been absolutely devastating, but they just managed to avoid devastation. NRG with a big one. We got the force out from Astralis here. If this finds success, maybe we're back on. If not, it's going to come down to this first rifle for me.
Yeah, agreed. But NRG, though, finding that pistol, it extends that buffer zone, which is nice. It gives you a bit of leeway here on the T side. With this force, it's not make or break for Astralis, but it's mighty close. Lose this, NRG find 9. Money brokens. They realistically should get a 10. So you're right. You know, that first gun round that comes through, that could be the deciding factor for Astralis. And then once again, going to go back towards B.
Ooh, little tick on the Molotov. Bro going to be known about. Will they send him in here? Answer is no, apparently. For the first time, maybe ever, you see a MAC-10 slowly backing away, not getting giddy for that first fight. So he's just going to wait patiently. They are still looking to hit B, though. Actually leading with the AK here to try and force things through with the stronger weaponry. There's a man from CT that makes life very awkward indeed. Now the Galil is up to try and find these kills. He will get one. They know about this player towards New, but have to play it perfectly. Meanwhile, they're coming in from CT. There's no smoke down. Oh, God, this is so awkward. Thankfully able to just hold the line with that automatic weaponry. Ryu, alone against the world, finds the first, scares the bomb for a second. What is his game plan? Bomb going down. I don't think he would have quite heard that sound. I think he really wanted to charge through this smoke and try and isolate a fight, but doesn't happen for him. So he's left in the difficult 1 versus 2 now. Quick movement into these post plants. Pretty unbeatable angle on top of this dark box. Ryu goes contacting in. Surely not long for this world. Will clear it, but he will be beaten. So Astralis, the unlikely round does not come off.
Yeah, I guess clearing it as well, because that's where Ryu was playing in the post plant earlier, which netted them that final round and a half. But yeah, they needed that. They really did. And the fact that they don't get it, it's gonna open things up, that's for sure. They make it expensive, I guess, which will take something away from the round, but NRG with the 9th, and the 10th should be a freebie. It's a bit of a 2-for-1 special winning that round number 14, just because of the forced buy investment by the CTs. Astralis are on a knife's edge here as NRG to close, but nice find by Bro.
Yeah, should be doable from here with an advantage like that. They're even thinking of just charging straight through this smoke. Get this round over and done with. You got Yabby creeping. He's only got a USP though, so not the scariest of prospects. Meanwhile, there's a man in CT. Made it round to church. Bro's just been off on his own adventure over there. Any kill is good. Yabby does manage to get one. I feel like that might be all that they get here. George with a flank to close out Fozy. Oh,
do it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Do it.
Wait a minute.
No!
Oh! Okay, just got the right click off. That could have been embarrassing. Holy. That first right click making all the difference.
Yeah, thank God he had HP. That could have been very embarrassing. Ryu last man with this Deagle. Gonna look and see if he can make it expensive. It feels like he may be a consolation kill. Like that. No, maybe not. Sonic turns around and sees it off. Only the one casualty in the end as well, so you'll take that. And George, of course, his cash in the back pocket with the knife too. It was very scrappy. That was nearly so close to utter embarrassment. But it's all right. First gun round. You put a lot of importance on it, and I'll back it up because Astralis, you lose this, and it might cost you the map in the series. Put you into playing a game later on today.
Amount of control once again being vied for and cleanly taken. Oh man, just charging in straight through to this B bomb site. And they have mowed them down. Lovely move from NRG, going back into their DNA, right? Thick and fast rounds. That's what they love, and they make mincemeat out of that B hold.
Yeah, what a call. It's such a nervy call to make as well, because obviously, if you get completely shut down, obviously, you can talk about losing the round, but it's actually the mental state, right? It's like, oh, okay, chill out, slow down, back to the basics. But the fact that you've kind of got these conditioned slower rounds, and then you can throw a quick one like that on a bonus buy where it's not the end of the world if you are to lose. I love that. Brilliant work. Fuzi in this AWP is desperately trying to stay alive here. Molotov trying to force him out, and it forces him through the flames into the fire of Nitro's AK. Tap away for more as well. It's a great move. The AWP scooped up as well for OC, which will take every day of the week. 11-5. It's not done just yet, but it might be curtains there, Scriv. A certain lady might be singing because Astralis' time in the server here looks limited.
Indeed, they're taking a time out here, of course, but I think, unfortunately, we might know what they don't. Comebacks are always possible, don't get me wrong, but this NRG is looking really locked in right now. Some great rounds, some great mix-ups. A lot of options available for them if they continue playing like this. Good amount of cash built up as well to just stem a loss or two. It will be a decent buy-in from Astralis. They've got that at the very least, and now it is time if they can try and find some sort of a run back, some sort of a reset to just stop number 12 happening for NRG.
Let's see. I think a freebie of an AWP picked up as well for OC. It's really nice to have. George just trying to put pressure on here. While you're going towards under, that'll force Fuzi away. Quad stack A, though. It's really down to what Hooksy and an MP9 can do over towards top banana. And the bomb's heading in that direction.
Yeah, still presence in the apartments here for NRG. So definitely potential that one of these players oversteps and gives an early kill away. And he doesn't quite make it to Hooksy. Oh, the second one does. But he's got the re-smoke. He's just making it look like there's more presence over there. They will slowly rotate a player around, but that might be the wrong move. The apartment's control has given NRG the confidence to just have a look on A. Just a small look again. Still not overselling. It's only one man's worth of utility thus far. They're on the contact util here. Brilliant stuff as NRG have pulled Astralis' defense pillar to post. Clean shot coming in to open things up from the captain. And they look to end things here and now. It's Fozy in the pit, though, to hold the line. Smoke down to make life a bit awkward. He's going to have to go above and beyond. His teammates not quite delivering. A flash comes in for him to try and find another. The bomb plant being denied. He's caught on the USP now, but the rotations are finally starting to make some waves. Sonic does take down Fozy, spots the other two as well. He will fall. It's all on to OC to find number 12, to break the hearts and backs of Astralis. Not gonna happen. And Astralis with a big find to keep their dream alive.
Yeah, it's a good move. It really is. Right at the end there as well, with OC on that AWP, just playing together, Hooksy and Stair flying in off the back of the flash. MP9, they just know they've got to trade effectively. They don't even care if 1-4's there, as long as they can get that trade and don't allow them to reset for a second. Nice work. Pressure on. Astralis staying afloat just about, but that ship's still taking on water. Rugger really wants to hope that he can plug those gaps. Still quite the deficit of 5 rounds of NRG knocking on the door of the next stage here at IEM Kraków. At the very least, that'll reset the finances a bit so they have a good, solid buy to work with. Fuji's all scooped back up too. Others aren't dead just yet.
Snade's landing here. NRG with some earlier presence in that sense than the previous round. Trying to work the A-bomb site a bit more than last round. There's plenty of room and money. I think they should be okay, particularly if they do get a plant. Just that one player causing an upset, a ruckus over on A. It's George who finds himself towards the top end of the scoreboard in this game. So trading a lot of individual performances at the moment. Stair holding the line. Low on ammo. Has to be careful, but still manages to finish them off with some help from Yabi. I think those would have been his final 5 or 6 bullets in that magazine. Up, trained and ready. Not a chance, says Fozy. OC trades him. Does have that bomb. And only Ryu to get through on A. So hold your horses for just a moment here. 20 seconds. Rotation's coming in. He's maybe missed the window of opportunity to close down the fight quick. And I think is maybe capitulating to the save, actually, as he's not really moved off these stairs.
Yeah, I think he's already called it. Should be okay. There's noise. You get cleared by Stair. Yes, kind of. Stair just picking up guns. Oh, no. Yabi in the back line sees him off from bridge. That's a tilter. If he didn't move, he would have been all right. But he thought there might have been 2 players moving their way through long and short. Down goes the AWP. Down go NRG. Astralis staying alive. Keeping the pressure on. Keeping NRG muted a little bit on this T side. Stair does so well towards B. Real lockdown defense from him for 3. The buy is bad. Well, the North Americans. Hero 8K for Sonic. Just a few good pistols around it. This is the type of round where you'd want one of those punchy ones that NRG like to throw in. And we might just get it. They might just fly out towards balcony here. And they're gone. We spoke about a punchy T-side round and a flying tech 9. Oh, OC and George. Nice work. Job not done just yet, but there's space to work with. And Sonic gonna make sure they take it.
Yeah, an aggressive swing from Sonic. I was like, okay, this is good. They're waiting for that smoke to go down. It's often a bad habit of players to go for that greedy swing as a smoke is blooming. The need to finish off Stair. And of course, it would be a round like this that NRG can pull out of thin air. Hooksy has a decision to make. The money not quite there. With a chance, of course, he could pull this off. We know that as well. The HP bars are pretty low, but again, potentially a capitulation as he holds on the edge of the bomb site, looking to take a gun or two away. Begs a question as to whether maybe he could have just held the M4. I believe there is a player at the bottom end, didn't quite catch it, but I think a very poor player over on the Astralis side of things, and they need all the help they can get right now.
Wonder as well for likes of NRG. They've obviously had these problems when it comes to closing out the map as we turn towards Mirage. Astralis do pick up a bit of form here towards that tail end. When do they try and utilize their attacks to see things off? I mean, I guess that's forward thinking if things are to go bad. They could close out here and now. Map series point. What a showing from NRG in this tournament. They continue to punch up and impress. The bait win was brilliant, but this one has a lot of stock behind it. Sure, you can talk about this being a new look Astralis and teething issues of a new squad, but it's been a solid showing. It really has. Sonic, one on high. Should expect there should be a second down low as well. There's 4 players in this direction. Sonic just trying to keep attention drawn. He's doing a good job of it.
Yeah, maybe away from George, who is the one that is looking to get the right guess. Still not the bravest of players, right? He just gets that apartment's control, but not necessarily going to take any risks. It's a pickup of speed towards B here. Big nade damage coming in. Whoa, just getting the jump up. Yabi, meanwhile, will get one above the smoke. They've got to deal with him. They didn't quite know where he was at. Maybe a quick last-minute boost. He finds 2. Seems a few players were unsure of his presence up there. And it could really spell defeat now for NRG in a key round. Bomb goes down. OC is just pressing the panic button. Where's my bodyguard? Where's George? He's on the other side of the map right now. He'll make sure that he can make it over safely, I suppose. That's why he takes his time. A re-smoke at CT. But there's now a wall of smokes that awkwardly work through. OC lines them up. The footsteps heard. Where is Ryu? Where is he? They've got to locate him. Surely not here. He nades in towards Dark. He has to try and isolate these fights. He gets the first. And OC has a decision. Does he peek? Does he hide? Ryu deletes, but there's no time. There's no time. And NRG will take it 2-1. They qualify for stage 2. The NA hopefuls. And it's young OC who keeps them alive time after time with those highlight moments across the course of their 2 games so far. What a series coming in from him, but across the board as well. Sonic had a map, George having a map there, Bro ever consistent and towards, if not finishing